Welcome to an all new episode of Unhealthy and Unstable. We got a very fun show for you guys tonight. Can you guys hear me? You guys can hear me good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Usually I can hear myself in my headphones and I can't, so I started immediately freaking out. Welcome to episode 22. I often forget what number we're at, but we are at number 22. This is going to be a very fun episode, guys. The conversation points that we got for today are not necessarily topical. They're kind of just shooting the shit. I think that's why we're going to have so much fun. But we do have a special guest before I get into my co-host. Didge, what's going on, Didge? It's been a minute, man.
It has. I'm happy to be here. It's going good. I am perpetually tired, so trying to stay awake.
I'm glad Didge is here, even though he left me to fend for myself talking Patriots on Prime and Sources show, man.
That was the day after my move. I was half asleep. I was in the comments, though, at least, I was there in the comments saying stuff.
Me, man, and I'm just like, he's asking about stuff Didge would know. I need Didge here. He's asking numbers and stuff. I know all that, man.
I was seeing the comments. I was or like the conversation. I'm glad I'm not there.
Yeah, man, left me to die alone. That was crazy. But no, I'm super glad to have Didge, man, and especially for the topic points that we got for today. And of course, as always, joining me, Joel and Trevon. What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Right here, can't find my work badge, so I'm right here freaking out.
Ooh, do you got to go in the office or something?
yeah, I can't find it.
Ooh, good luck.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, hope I found it.
Yeah, because rumor has it they men in black you at the front door at Trevon's job if you don't have the proper credentials. So,
that's how y'all beat Trevon?
So if Trevon ain't here the next couple of weeks, y'all, government done got him. The government done got him. Couldn't let him walk away with all them secrets. So just saying. Trevon may or may not know where the aliens are located primarily on this planet. Just throwing that out there.
Hilarious.
Let's get. I had a fun way to start this episode. So I saw another page doing it, but I think it was for anime, and I thought bringing it to the MCU would be a lot of fun. So I'm gonna send this to you, Trevon, to put up, but I'm gonna open with it. So they were essentially doing One Has to Go, and not one of those One Has to Go that it necessarily ceases to exist. One has to go that you cannot tell the legend of to your kids. You know what I'm saying? Like it's white. It no longer ever came out. You got to forget that you ever knew about it. So I picked 4 movies that I thought would make this extremely difficult. But before we get into that, no, it's no problem, Trevon. I'm gonna bring up the comments. The tax bracket just went up, baby.
I actually just replied to this. I am not. Funny enough, I do have some though. I'm just not drinking it. I'm drinking just water.
DJV, you're making Didge not feel comfortable drinking wine coming on this stream, man. All right, let him be. Let him be.
I told you I'm still unpacking. I don't know where my wine opener is. I was gonna have some actually.
Now, what Didge isn't telling you guys is, you guys remember the machine from the first Iron Man, the arm that would extend itself and do stuff for Stark? He has one of those. So what he means is, the robot has not finished unpacking for Didge yet. So that's why he doesn't have the wine. But he's working on it. You better have your badge when you go to Chaos Corp where they put a curse on you. And Trevon knows how the witch shit work. He ain't never worried about that. The witch shit he can handle. He knows shit. But all right, so these are the 4 movies we are working with, guys. Deadpool and Wolverine, No Way Home, Endgame, and Shang-Chi. All right? One of these movies has to go, and everything with it. So
I already know which one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, one? It's not as difficult as I thought it was.
Really?
That's pretty easy.
Okay. So Trevon, start. If it, which one you taking off?
No Way Home.
Ooh,
wow. Okay. So now that you said No Way Home, I swear on everything, I think I know which one Didge is gonna say.
Wait, which one am I gonna say?
I thought you were gonna say Shang-Chi.
No, actually, I was gonna pick Deadpool and Wolverine.
Wow. Okay. So hold on. So now that we got you two, right? I want to go back to Trevon real quick. So is it just that No Way Home is the least favorite out of the 4, or were you just not as hype on it as maybe a lot of people were?
I'm more excited about the other 3.
Okay,
I'm more excited about the other
that's
3.
fine,
I mean, No Way Home was cool. What movie have I rewatched again that hasn't been No Way Home?
Look, that's all this is opinion. So I completely respect that. Look, one of them I put on here as a bona fide, I know Trevon's keeping, and that was Shang-Chi. I knew that wasn't going anywhere for you. So it was just a matter of how you view the 3, I call it, multiversal movies, right? So it's like, where do you place it? Right? So I did not think Spider-Man would be on the outs for you. I definitely thought it might be risky enough for Endgame to maybe be on the out for you. So I am indeed shocked.
It would have been harder for me if you had put Multiverse of Madness instead of No Way Home.
I in good conscience, couldn't have put that.
It would have been harder.
I just,
my answer would have changed.
It would have stopped being difficult for me.
I don't hate that movie. I just that would have been the worst of the 4.
Let me also be clear here. Me putting these 4 movies weren't, let me put 4 of my favorite movies. I think we can all agree these are 4 of the most liked movies in the MCU history, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I based it off of. Because I was going to put 4 Avenger movies, right? But I'm kind of like, a lot of people believe the first one didn't age well. A lot of people dislike the second one. So I'm like, it would have just came down to like Infinity War and Endgame, and that's not fun, right? So I just thought if I did these 4, it would have been a little harder. But Trevon came right in and was just like, I don't know what you talking about. I got mine right about here. It's still hard for me to decide. So let me say, shout out to Jamie. What's going on, Jamie? DJ V says Shang-Chi is out. Okay. All right. I went back to watch the clips of all these movies, but all right. Hey, look, don't get Trevon upset up here.
Interesting.
Watch him mouth about his
I'm
future
very curious
husband
about that.
Watch your mouth. He don't play about Shang-Chi. Didge, so you said Deadpool and Wolverine is out for you. Why that one of the group?
Just of the 4, that's the one I liked the least.
Okay.
We talked about this on Geek Set before. I know a lot of people were super, super high on it. Mm-hmm. I was telling people I can easily name 10 movies that I think are better than it in the MCU. Like, it's a good movie. It's just I wasn't as high on it as a lot of people were.
Do you think it's the best out of the 3?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Now let me ask you this: was it that you thought it was too much pandering? Did the cameos not hit? Like, what about it just didn't really resonate with you?
It was the same thing that happens to me every Deadpool movie. At like 3/4 of the way in, I'm like, all right, this is a little too much. Like, the Deadpool mannerisms just become too much for me. Mm-hmm. And they were on 10 this one because they had to throw in with the cameos, because now he has to interact to every cameo. You have to be it becomes a little too much for me. And I felt like this was that on steroids. So like I said, it's never anything that I hate. I'm just like, all right, I've had enough.
Yeah, no, look, I've heard people say the 4th wall breaking was too much for them. Now, to be fair, those people are not familiar that 4th wall breaking is really all Deadpool does. So I had to explain that. But I have heard people say it was a little bit too much for them. I mean, like I said, this is always going to be catered to just what, stands out to you. So, albeit I am shocked that was the one you picked. Part of me is starting not to really confuse myself on why Trevon picked Spider-Man. I'm now starting to remember back when we were all reviewing Spider-Man. I'm like, no, this is kind of lining up a little bit.
That's fair.
Like a little bit. I think Trevon was on the side of like Tia of not liking how it ended with him not remembering. I mean, them not remembering Peter.
I hated that.
And I remember me and Joel were so steadfast of like, I know it's because a lot of you guys, the MCU is a lot of your knowledge of Marvel, but like Spider-Man needed to be preserved as the one hero. No one knows his identity, right? Like that needed to matter. And obviously now that you bring back in Daredevil and all those characters, it's just nice to have a pocket of the MCU of people that the identities matter, right? Like it's cool to have that. So it was just really, for me, I just felt really warm inside that Kevin decided to bring it back to where Spider-Man should be, which is he's not like what you did with Stark, right? Like Peter shouldn't walk down the street and people are just high-fiving Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Like once Peter takes off the mask, he's essentially invisible to the world, right? Like he's the nerdy, geeky kid no one gives a shit about, right? So it's like that's what it should have been brought back to, is its true roots. So for me, that was always my pushback to that. But again, I completely get it. You live in you're watching in a whole MCU where no one has a secret identity. So I get it that, you know, they're now changing it with one of their bigger characters in Spider-Man. You're like, I don't really like that. So I get it.
I mean, that was my same issue with Guardians. I was like, come on, get to the MCU, please. Like, why are y'all separate? Hurry up.
Oh, well, they were never separate. Their glue was always Thanos. Once you saw Thanos, you knew that was the glue there. But yeah, no, I'm with you. Once they interacted with the MCU, like I remember when the trailer hit at Hall H, and people were talking about how the trailer opened with the Guardians interacting with Thor, and I just remember going, "This is the life, bro." Like the MCU is really starting to fizzle, you know, to bring everything together, and like this is just, it's crazy to think of where we are now in the MCU. But Joel, I hope this is a lot harder for you, or this is going to start to not be as fun as I thought it would be.
This is still a fun conversation.
No, the conversation is fun. I just thought it would be a lot harder. It's still hard for me. I still don't know which one. But Joel, which one of these are you removing?
It is hard for me because I like all of them a lot. So it's not an easy question. But I just have to go based on nostalgia for me. And Shang-Chi has the least nostalgia. There was a lot of new stuff and things they changed to fit the MCU, which I enjoyed. But I enjoyed seeing the characters that I grew up with, like Spider-Man and Wolverine and the Avengers. That meant more to me, seeing them on screen. Like the Endgame was Endgame. You can't match that. Everything I saw in Deadpool, Wolverine, you just couldn't match that for me. And then same thing with No Way Home, seeing all the Spider-Man I watched growing up. And now merging into one movie was insane for me. So as much as I love Shang-Chi, it just didn't hit the same. Not to say I didn't love the movie. I do. It's a personal choice.
Yeah. All right, for me, to not drag this out, for me it's Endgame. I'm only removing Endgame because I still to this day believe Infinity War is the superior of the two. I consider them a part one, part two. So I think they're two halves of a whole. But if I had to pick a half of that whole that I could watch repeatedly with no fast forwarding, it would 100% be Infinity War.
I agree with you. I do think Infinity War is the better of the two, but you said that this will never exist. You will never know. So that means in that world, I live with never getting that resolution.
Hey, yeah. And you know what makes it hilarious? What makes it hilarious is, hold on, this isn't funny. So let me make sure I'm cleaning up how I'm saying this. This isn't funny. But what makes it crazy is to know Infinity War ends with T'Challa disappearing.
That's what I'm saying.
Wakanda Forever starts with, you never got the resolution of seeing T'Challa ever again.
That's what I'm saying.
And for me, that would be hilarious for a new generation to go into, where they see how Infinity War ends, then all the next projects where people are just back. They're like, what happened? You're like, what's a blip?
Like, what are we? You know how crazy that would be? You never get the resolution, and then the next thing you see is Wakanda Forever is just T'Challa's funeral. And
right. And you're just like, I'm sorry, was that permanent? Or wait, even better, Spider-Man, where you just see people reappearing in the gym, and you're like, what happened? How did they just come back? And it's like, Oh yeah, no, I don't even remember. I don't remember to tell you. I don't know. It's weird, right?
You tell me the main thing we're missing. I won't get Carol.
Right.
I'm gonna get
Right.
Carol.
You know that is true. Well, you get her. You just don't get like your.
I won't get the moment of what's that? What is that coming through? Listen, I need that. Okay.
And what's even crazier is them seeing like a memorial of Stark in Spider-Man, and then the memorial of T'Challa, and they're just like,
two people who just never come back, and you like, why them? What happened?
No. Even better. You know what I would do to really mess with the next generation, to really confuse them? I would remove Endgame, right? So that means you never see Steve give Sam the shield. Then I wouldn't show them Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I would only show them the trailer for Captain America. And they would go, whoa, he's black? What happened to Steve? And I'm just, I don't know, man. This is crazy. I'm with you, man. I don't know. This is crazy. No, too much. All jokes aside, for me, the reason why it has to be that, for me, of the four, sorry. Shang-Chi introduced a pocket of the MCU that they've only touched on, right? They've only touched on it. Shang-Chi was so good, I immediately started dreaming up all the ways Iron Fist can be in that world, right? Interacting with Shang-Chi.
Not the Netflix Iron Fist, though, right? Like a new person.
Whatever
a new person.
No,
we can bring the character in.
We can't have the one we had.
A new person, right?
What was wrong with him? See, look.
I will say this, Stitch. I will say this. It is really hard for me to look at the Netflix universe and put anything on a specific person because I think so much of it was handled poorly. Okay. Scott Buck definitely is the worst human being on earth. But
season 2.
I will say this, Didge. I do believe there's very few things Kevin Feige can't make hot, right? I do believe if you give Finn another opportunity, Kevin can make it cool, right? Now, if you told me tomorrow that Finn was out, I ain't batting an eye, but I'm not against him coming back.
I'm batting.
You know what I'm saying? So, no, I get it, Trayvon, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that if he comes back, it's a problem.
Yes.
That's wild.
You can't bring everybody else back, but you can't bring him back? No, fuck that.
I mean, everybody else is a hit.
You got to stop saying everybody else. You've only seen Daredevil and Punisher. You've not seen anyone else.
I also seen his best friends.
No. But I'm saying of the Defenders team, you've only seen 2 of them. So you don't know yet if Luke Cage will be the same, if Jessica Jones will be the same, or if Iron Fist will be the same. So but I'm more with you if we get literally everyone.
You don't care for who? You said it's someone to your mom. I couldn't hear it.
I don't care about Luke Cage.
Oh, I knew that's who you said. Oh.
Yeah, we see the bias pouring out. So yes, DJV, what I was trying to say is, so Shang-Chi for me opened up a new pocket of the MCU I'm very excited to explore. So for me, that was changing the landscape of the MCU at the time. Spider-Man, I thought Andrew Garfield had his Hayden Christensen moment, right? Where everyone shitted on the Amazing Spider-Man 2 and everything that movie was. So it was good to see all the fun callbacks and stuff like that and people truly appreciating the OGs. And Deadpool and Wolverine, some of it for me is how fresh that movie is in my head. And a lot of it is just, they literally went down a list of all the things I kept saying because of Fox will never see, right? And they did it all. So for me, it's like Joel said, the nostalgia for that. My only issue is Endgame to me, I only enjoyed the last 40 minutes of that movie. That's the only, everything else was like a first movie. Endgame. It was like a first movie where it's just set up so it was so much talking and dialogue.
I mean, they were in legit hell at the end of Infinity War. You gotta crawl yourself out of that.
I completely understand that, but I'm just saying it's why it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. But I get it. I'm not, obviously you had to set everything up, but for me, nah. They couldn't see the vision. I like Andrew. I think crazy thing is, Jamie, I don't think you will find many people that don't prefer Andrew Garfield. Problem is that I think a lot of people love Tobey for the nostalgia of what Tobey. He was the OG, right? His movies were not better than necessarily what came after him, but it is the nostalgia in him being the OG, right? And then you get to Andrew. I think people thought Andrew fit Peter Parker the best, right? His Spider-Man looked great. Everything about him was perfect. But then, unfortunately,
too cool as Peter Parker, though.
I don't necessarily. There wasn't a dorky side there, but I think they were doing more of a modern dork and not your typical dork. That's why I think Tobey fit your typical dork. Andrew was like a newer version of that dork.
Andrew
and then I think
adult,
Tom,
right? Adult Peter, right?
Right.
So,
Yes. Right.
They were all playing teenagers.
Well, no. I think Trevon's saying what he was growing into was more of an adult version. I think Tobey.
But he
and
started
Andrew
in high school. They all started in high school.
barely though. Andrew was in high school.
barely.
Andrew was in high school.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 starts with him graduating high school.
Yeah.
Swear to God, I thought he graduated college. I swear to God. No. Hold on.
And all that stuff.
After they graduated, remember, Gwen had a whole full-time job at Oscorp.
Yeah.
I thought it was college. I thought they were graduating college.
That's fair.
That's what I thought. So if it was high school, I apologize. I thought it was college.
It's high school in the first movie. That second movie I don't remember. It's been a while.
Okay.
But
all right, no problem.
First movie, they're definitely in high school.
Okay.
That wasn't a college where they were at.
You know me. I will gladly admit when I'm wrong.
The second one was for sure high school because I just looked up the synopsis again because I couldn't remember either. And Gwen Stacy was telling Peter about how she might have to move to England for her scholarship at Oxford.
Oh, okay.
So you're clearly just graduated.
That was crazy because I'm like it looked like she had a full-time job at Oscorp, but I'm like just graduating high school. I'm like, that's some shit. Yeah,
maybe she was like an intern then. I don't,
She might have been. Look, that movie was not all that great.
That's what I was when you were saying that they weren't bad, I was like, ooh, 2 wasn't great.
Yeah, I'm like that. But again, I think for a lot of people, like for Tom, he captures Ultimate Spider-Man for me. And that was my Spider-Man, was Ultimate Spider-Man, reading those comics. So that's where I favor in Tom, but I don't think I could ever disrespect what Andrew brought to Spider-Man. I thought it was great. And part of me wants to say Amazing Spider-Man 2 might have had one of the better suits of Spider-Man. I love the design and everything. So.
The suit was great. I'll give you that.
And how this is going to sound so crazy knowing how athletic Tom Holland is, but Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was probably the most visually athletic of all the Spider-Man. I mean, just that scene of him on what is that machine with like the long arm? It's not a scaffolding. Whatever that, like when he went through it and then him in the air, like it just looked so beautiful, right? Like it looked fresh off the pages.
Underrated.
Yeah. So shout out to Andrew Garfield, man, and his take on Spider-Man. I think I definitely need him to come back for Secret Wars, just because I just want a little bit more, right? Knowing that that's it, I just want a little bit more, just a little bit. All right, so Joel went Shang-Chi, Didge went Deadpool Wolverine, Trevon went No Way Home, I went Endgame. So we all canceled one off. So that was very interesting. Andrew is my fave, then Tom, then Tobey. If we remove my Tobey nostalgia. I don't think you need to remove your nostalgia. I think if you have nostalgia, embrace it. Like, look, this is getting into our first topic. I wholeheartedly believe if and when we ever get a Blade movie, it will be better than the Wesley Snipes Blade movies. Now, it will not erase the fact that Wesley Snipes is the godfather of all this shit, right? Like, it won't erase that. It won't erase the first 10 minutes of that first Blade movie being iconic, right? It won't erase any of that. But with time, things just get better, right? Like, you're able to do more. Like, think about it. When Wesley Snipes played Blade, no one gave a fuck about Blade. I'm sure the guy who created Blade was just like, I didn't even give a fuck about Blade, right? Dang. So it's like, you go to then to now, because of Wesley Snipes, Blade has become such a cool character. So it's an easier path for Mahershala to just come into the role and just amplify it, right? Same thing with Tobey to Andrew, Andrew to Tom. So for me, I don't think you should ever let go of nostalgia. I think it's important so you don't forget where we come from. but we definitely have to embrace where we're going, right? Like, shout out to the original Fantastic Four team, but where we're going is so much better than where we were, right? But you don't forget them because, you know, you can respect what they did. And look, we got Chris Evans as Johnny Storm. That was dope, right? So a lot of great things came from that, but we've gotten better now. We've gotten better now. Toby will always have a special place in my heart. I like his stories the best. Ooh, that's a whole nother conversation we're going to have there, Jamie.
Sure. I mean,
OG Fantastic Four was great. I will say, though, for now, Toby was the most fleshed out. But that was only because Andrew never got a chance, and Tom is still in his rebuild, right? Like, in his building of his character. But, yeah, Toby had a beginning, middle, and end, you know? Technically, you can say through 3 movies, so did Tom, but it's continuing. He had his beginning, middle, and end, and I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was very well done. But again, Toby's beginning, middle, and end wasn't horrible, but some of those movies were. Right, so to move on to, it looks
great
like
is debatable, Jamie. Ooh.
OG Fantastic Four was great.
It was
Great to me would have to be everything of the movie was on point. I can't forgive what they did to Doom. As much as I love the actor playing Doom, I can't forgive what they did to Doom. I
would say good. Great is great is a lot.
First one was really good. I think the second one is heavily criticized because all people remember is Galactus. That movie was not that bad. It was so much fun seeing them swapping powers and shit.
That Galactus.
Right, the cloud. how iPhone and stuff knew what to do. It was the cloud from that movie. But I think the second movie is, I think people just remember that. And I think they ignore all the cool shit that they did.
I mean, yeah, I'll give you that. You know, the first one was definitely better than the second one. Jessica Alba was great, you know. What?
To say the first one was better than the second one, and then your point was, well, Jessica Alba was great. She was in the second one too, dude.
And look, she was great in that one too. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying.
My man said it like she got recast for the sequel. Like, the first one was great. It had Jessica Alba. I don't know about the second one. I don't know what happened there. All right, so with this Blade stuff, man, because we got a lot to talk about with this Blade stuff, man. It's starting to become incredibly frustrating. Apparently, Daniel RPK was alleging that the decision on the future of Blade and Armor Wars is coming within the next few months.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah,
I don't know how that's news.
It's not news.
That is literally no shit.
No, it's not news. It's just topical on the idea of what can they do to make these projects work. Like, I don't know what. Like, again, Blade is frustrating because it was introduced, and we got hit with COVID, and, you know, it started to look like it was gaining momentum, then boom, we were hit with the strike, right? I just wish we had a better concept on what maybe some of these writers did that Kevin just doesn't fuck with. Like, I don't really get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, and Trevon, you'll love this because Trevon's been saying this for almost a year now. I was watching, shout out to New Rockstars. They were alleging that there was some possible similarities in a Michael B. Jordan vampire movie. In this Blade movie. And for me, it's just the idea of you need to make this work, right? Now, shout out to Eric Voss. He did have an idea of why not, instead of making this so difficult, why not just do a Midnight Suns movie led by Blade? And for me, I'm like, that makes all the sense in the world. Like, right? Like, you don't have to invest in a Moon Knight season 2. Right? And if you do a huge splash, like get Ryan Gosling to be Ghost Rider, you can put all these characters in the movie and then do their season 2s or their premier singular projects after that. But I feel like the more you drag your feet on this, the more you're going to lose Mahershala. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, is it worth possibly losing Mahershala because you guys can't figure out what you want on this character?
I do feel like he's one foot out the door.
I do too, which sucks because apparently you said he's part of the reason it's not working.
I think he's part of the reason it hasn't gotten done yet. He's probably not happy with it either.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, I thought you were saying like it was his fault. That's why I was being quiet to let you finish. I'm like, wait, okay.
You made it sound like it was just they're making decisions for him, and he's just waiting for them on the side.
No. I'm saying it like I don't know what they're doing. I believe, Joel, that if Kevin had okayed a script, Mahershala would have just went with it. These scripts cannot be that atrocious. I'm sorry. They cannot be. That you couldn't have just tweaked it? You know what I'm saying? To DJ V's point, it's Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan are teaming up again for a vampire movie.
Yeah, they're working on it, right?
Yeah. I think it finished filming.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I think it finished filming within like the last month or two.
Oh damn!
I
thought it was in
pre-production. Snatching all the actors.
Yeah, it took a few of the actors that they had casted for Blade. That's why Trevon was one of the first people that were like, Blade could not be happening because they're taking all the good shit and giving it to Ryan Coogler for this vampire movie. But for me, Didge, I'll start with you. Do you think that might be a good idea? Maybe just scrapping it and just doing a Midnight Suns event movie, and then from there, it just gives you more time to figure out what you want to do with Blade individually after that, or like what do you think they should be doing?
Honestly, probably at this point, because it seems like a lot of the actors surrounding Blade, like even Kit Harington, like I don't know how much he was going to be in Blade, but obviously remember at the end of Eternals, you heard his voice when Kit Harington was by the blade or by the sword.
Yeah,
so you're right.
For that, Mr. Whitman.
Yeah, and so it's like I can't remember exactly where he was, but he was kind of like, I don't know if I'm still showing up anywhere in the MCU. So it kind of feels like the actors all surrounding it are kind of like, well, maybe at this point it's things are kind of in the air. So the longer it goes, I think the less they're interested in it. Obviously, they're working on other stuff, and I think it starts to feel like they're like, well, I have to move on at some point. So if you're truly interested in getting all of these people still there, you need to start getting a product, at least in pre-production, saying, hey, we are working on this. We are moving towards this goal. Otherwise, they're going to be like, my schedule can't stay open for so long. Like, I am still a working actor. I have to be able to be working.
That's the crazy part, Didge. To no one's knowledge, Mahershala is filming this new Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah, seriously.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that's why, and to Joel's point, he said it, either said it when we were together the other day, or he said it last week on the show. He was just like, the idea of like, bro, I don't know when this Blade movie can start filming, because this man is obviously still working. So it's like, I don't know. Now, somehow Pedro Pascal is filming 3 things at one time. Who the fuck knows how that works, right? But, so I'm like, I guess it could be done. But, I mean, you make a great point, Didge. But I think it's a little deeper than that, Didge. I think it's a little deeper to where it's like, you've opened the door to some of these things, right? You open the door with Werewolf by Night. You open the door with Eternals. You open the door with Moon Knight. And it's like, I don't know how long you can kind of just elongate that before you have to revisit some of these things with a season 2 or another special, because your fan base is just going to forget. Like, they're going to forget, like, Wolfman. Oh, yeah, that was, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or Werewolf by Night, sorry. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Joe. Because I'm thinking of what you just put in the group chat. You start to forget about some of these things, right? Like, look, as much as Trevon wants Shang-Chi 2, you know who I keep hearing from? Blake, who wants Moon Knight season 2. Like, it's Trevon with one, Blake with the other. Shout out to Blake. So it's like, it's been a minute, you know? And it's more and more time that you could have filled some of these pockets with. You could have done a Ghost Rider project by now. I don't know why you're not. You know, part of it started feeling like they wanted Blade to spearhead that whole movement, right? So everything else was on hold till you put Blade out. But now it's kind of just like, if this is going to take forever, just give me Moon Knight season 2. Just give me my Ghost Rider special. Like, just put all these other things out and figure Blade out down the line, but put them together.
Speaking
and
of
go
Moon
try
Knight,
to make $1 billion with that.
I was gonna say, yeah. Speaking of Moon Knight, that's another person who kind of every time they ask him about it, he's kind of like, I don't know what's going on. You know, something's
right.
in the works, but
right.
He's just sort of. I think it's more so like, stop asking me. Something's happening.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably at the point where he's just like, I wish I could hint at something more to you guys, but I really don't. I don't know. It's when they call me. But one thing we do know is that Oscar Isaac is never short for work. So
no,
that man ain't worried. He's like, when they call me, I'm there. But until then, I don't care. Trevon, with you being into that whole mysterious world that the Midnight Suns could create, especially with maybe, the idea of maybe Agatha being a part of that, should they go the route of just doing a Midnight Suns event film? Because with all these names that are attached to some of these actors that are these characters, that movie could make a shit ton of money. Should you go the route of Midnight Suns and then just worry about Blade later? Or should they just figure just something out to just get Blade made?
I just think they need to hurry up. Whatever they decide, just hurry up, do it. I don't know. I would love Midnight Suns. I mean, at this point, how many scripts have we heard about going through? How many?
I think 3.
I was going to say at least 3.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
So it's been different
directors.
directors.
Bo's one of them, Trevon.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was a whole bunch of like directors and stuff too. Right? So
I think there's only 2 or 3 directors though, because we have one now that has not left. I think only 2 have left before. I don't think they've been through a bunch of directors.
It's just, I don't know. At this point, just
I don't think I have a director anymore.
You kind of have.
Well, no one's reported that he's out. They might not have said that he's still on, but no one's officially said that he's left the project. Oh, they did?
I think they did.
Yeah, I don't think there's a current director.
Yeah,
I don't remember the story that he left the project.
That was recent. It was like a couple months ago, actually. Let me check.
Okay, no problem. So Trevon, you don't care either way. You just want them to fast track it.
Look, I'm gonna say something real controversial right now.
Go ahead.
I don't like Blade. Like I was like, okay, cool, Blade movie, whatever. Like,
why you rushing?
Midnight Suns is more. Midnight Suns is more appealing to me. Magic is more appealing to me. A vampire hunter guy. I don't know. Whatever. I don't.
Awesome.
Whatever. Like.
I mean, also remember, Trevon,
you
can get that magical shit in Blade.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, there is stuff you can do with Blade that's more than your just typical. I just hunt vampires every second of every day. You can open it up a little bit more. You go hunting for Wandas. No, not interested. No. I will say this.
Let's bring the Black Knight in there. Put the Black Knight in there.
I will say this, Trevon. How much would you like this idea? This was something that was not thrown around by like anyone pitching a Midnight Suns movie, but this idea was thrown around. The idea of what if the purpose of a Midnight Suns movie was that Wong found out Wanda is still alive, right? And to go save her, he assembles this team, and guess who has Wanda?
Who?
Mephisto.
Oh.
And it's the Midnight Suns.
Oh no, I'm not getting back into the. I'm not getting back.
I'm not. I'm just saying that would be perfect to have that kind of villain for a Midnight Suns kind of project, and it's for them to go rescue Wanda. It would give Trevon all his magical shit and Wanda, right? Everything else probably wouldn't matter, but his magical shit would be there, and Wanda. Trevon's already seated, right? He's seated right now. Me just talking about it, right? So I'm like, again, I just think that would be the better way because it would save you from having to do season 2 specials and all that right now. Just make it a movie. That's what Bob Iger was speaking about, right? Less shows, more movies. Make it a movie.
Yeah.
Just go make it a movie, right? So Joel, I want to ask you not about Blade. I want to ask you about this because I think this is starting to become the forgotten child. Do you think? No, not Blade. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not asking Joel about Blade. I'm turning it to the guy on the other side of the photo.
I was gonna say because I forgot this is a project. The other one.
So my question is, Joel, do you think the fallout of Secret Invasion is what's maybe holding up this War Machine Armor Wars movie? Like, what could be the issue? Because remember, we haven't heard about a script, directors, a full cast, nothing like with Blade. Armor Wars was more so, we're doing Armor Wars. Don Cheadle will be in it. It's a show. Then it was, it's a movie. Then it was, we don't talk about it. So, War Machine's become Bruno. They don't talk about Bruno no more. Right? So, like, what do you think is going wrong with this Armor Wars?
I don't think about it. That's my issue at the moment. I don't. I love the idea of it. I like the storyline. I like the character, but I don't think about it. I only think about, honestly, when I look at the schedule, is like where it fits. That's it. I have no idea story wise, like how it fits, what they're doing. I mean, there's a lot of explaining that you could do. There's a lot of backstory that you could fill in. Trust me, there's a lot of story to put in there. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Just like Blade, I have no idea what the fuck they're doing. So when they figure it out, let me know.
I think I'm more so just a little frustrated because once you came out and said that it's going from a show to a movie, that sounds like you have a concept for what you want to do as a movie.
Not only that, when they said it was going from a show to a movie, it said, hey, it's filming this September, because I was there back in like 2022.
Right.
And we've heard nothing since.
Nothing at all. I think that's what frustrates me more, because I'm like, once you said you wanted to take it from a show to a movie, if you did not have all your ducks aligned, we could have just went without not having that information. Like, that's my only issue, because I'm like, I got really hyped with the idea of Ironheart, right? And then I'm like, man, it'd be really cool if we see Ironheart maybe with Rhodey, right? And you know, that being one of the examples of Stark stuff getting out is, look at this kid that was able to build an Iron Man suit and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it connected. So I'm like, then when you just started not hearing things, you're like, really weird, man. Really weird. But I think that brings us to this phase of it. I think that's more so people's issue with the MCU right now. What is its direction after Secret Wars? It seemed like it all made sense, right? Like it was a clear path. Right after that, now it kind of just feels like they're backpedaling a lot, right? They're backpedaling a lot. I think some of that does have to do with Bob Iger coming back and just going, the shit y'all want to do, we ain't spending money on. So let's start there. Like, let's start there. No budget for any of this shit. So I want to kind of go a little bit more loosey-goosey and fun with this. So me and Joel were out the other day, and we were talking about where the MCU is right now, right? More so where we could see it, because we were just talking about the fact that Doomsday starts filming next year. A lot of people are reporting possibly in March, right? So I'm like, the funny thing of that is you're filming an Avengers movie, and we currently do not have an Avengers. So it got me and Joel thinking, Captain America's movie might have to end just like Age of Ultron. With the end of that movie being Rhodey going, we need the Avengers. Then you kind of see a scene of like Shang-Chi, you know, a few other people, and that being Sam's Avengers.
Don't give me
going.
Hope.
You said who?
I said, don't give me hope.
Of what? Shang-Chi?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's impossible if he's not part of that first Avengers team.
No, I'm talking about him doing that in general, like that whole
concept. Oh no! We're just saying it's a lot for you to open up the Doomsday movie with with Sam now having to assemble an Avengers team right as a threat is rising, right? Like that's a lot to put on that movie, you know? Because already, think about it. We don't even know if Doom is in Fantastic Four. Remember this. We don't know. It's our assumption. So I'm assuming majority of that movie, as you were explaining, who the fuck is Doctor Doom? So now you're telling me half the movie is explaining who he is, half the movie is assembling the Avengers? That's nuts. That's nuts.
I think Brave New World is just going to end how it's going to end normally. And so Fantastic Four, of course, will be before the Avengers movie, right? So I feel like
it'll be next year. Avengers
that
movie
is where I think that's when we meet Doom and figure out who he is or whatever, and then it'll be an incursion and it'll end on a cliffhanger, and then we'll get Avengers movie.
I can tell you a lot of people are suggesting Doom is not fully in that movie. Doom is more so referred to in that movie. And then you probably see the connection of the dots probably in Doomsday. I just think if Cap's movie ends where you don't do that, it will frustrate me only because we know Sam has access to Bruce, right? Sam could find Bruce and reach out to Bruce. And we know Bruce knows that little merry band of people that they had together from the end of Shang-Chi. Remember, it was Bruce, it was Carol, and it was Wong, right? Mm-hmm. So it's hard to believe that you can't just end that movie where they're coming together for whatever this threat is, right? Or, Sam just saying, we need an Avengers. Let's start putting it together. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's hard for me to believe that right now, because I don't remember many Avengers movies outside of the first one being that big of a setup for building an Avengers team, right? Age of Ultron, you had your team, you added to it. Civil War, you had your team, you added to it. Same thing with Infinity War and Endgame. You weren't introducing the whole concept of bringing everyone together for the first time in any movie outside of the first one. So, I don't know, but we got into the idea of assembling that Avengers team. Now, with doing that, what would that Avengers team be? Right? And that's where we really started having fun. So we were doing names like, of course, Cap, Rhodey, Bruce. Did we have Carol on there, Joel? I don't remember if we had Carol on there. We had Carol, right?
I did.
Okay, Carol. Well, just read me your list. You have your list. Just read me your list.
But yeah, it's basically what you expect from an Avengers movie. There's a lot of people. Problem is, will it be all one squad? That's a good question.
So wait, so pitch that idea, Joel, because you had everyone broken up in subcategories.
Well, I broke it up. I just broke up the main Avengers into two teams, the East Coast and the West Coast. And I'm not sure that's something they're going to do in that movie, but I do think it's something that happens down the line. Mm-hmm. And so I just brought up characters that'll probably be recruited. So obviously Cap and Falcon and Thor and Hulk and Captain Marvel and Black Panther and Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, some version of Hawkeye, War Machine, Ant-Man.
Well, no. Let's get specific there. I think for the East Coast Avengers, it will be Kate. I think for the West Coast Avengers, it'll be Clint.
I think Kate is part of that Young Avengers thing if they ever do that.
Wait, say that part again. Sorry, say that part again.
Ignore me?
No. I got a message as you were saying it, and the ding was loud in my ear.
I said I think Kate will be part of that Young Avengers thing they do.
Oh, okay.
That's why they're separate. But
so there won't be a Hawkeye on that Avengers team.
He said he's once Clint said, Jeremy Renner said he was ready to come back, and if they bring him back, I don't expect him to have a big role, but I can see him being there, even if it's just a mentor role.
Yeah, that's definitely what it would be at that point.
Let him be the man in the chair.
War Machine.
No, he needs to be active in the Avengers movies. Come on, Didge. He doesn't need to be active after that, but if the world's ending, that man does not need to be a man in the chair. That's crazy.
He can send Kate out there.
No. Well, no, Kate will be out there, but all hands need to be on deck.
No, he can be. I'm gonna teach you all the tricks that you didn't know.
What you got against Clint? Hold on.
He done his time. Let him relax. Hey,
apparently relaxing is not what they do over there.
All right,
man, did all that fighting to get back to the farm with his family. Y'all trying to send him right back out.
That Hawkeye. We're just
he gotta say the word for his family. What you mean?
Yeah, I was about to say the world end. What does spending time with your family mean?
That's true. It's not wrong.
I tell you what, as we all floating to heaven, I'd be mad as fuck looking over there like, wait, Clint? You're alive? Yeah, man. Where the fuck were you?
What Spider-Man said?
The fuck was my family? No, dog.
Spider-Man said I can't be a neighborhood Spider-Man if there's no neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Can't be no dad if there ain't no kids. Get out there and save the earth, man. Come on, man. Save our universe. Crazy. So Didge is telling us, y'all, that if he was a superhero, when he retired, that's it. The whole city around Didge could be collapsing. And he like, I'm retired.
He set him up for a protege to take over the reins once he was done. Y'all better put y'all faith in Kate Bishop.
His kids and wife all looking at him like, so you're not going to go help?
Yeah, hell yeah. Hey, you just going to sit here?
That's
wild. Well, no, Didge, let me, because I don't want to, I want to make sure I'm highlighting what you're saying, because what you're saying is true, but we all agree with you. Yeah. We're not saying outside of an Avengers movie, do we ever need to see Clint holding a bow and arrow? Only in these two Avengers movies are we saying. After that, yes, please go back into retirement. It's Kate's world we live in now. But in an Avengers movie, that'd be crazy as hell. Because, I mean, think about it. Thor can say that shit. I'm off world. That's your problem.
No, Thor ain't got, we ain't got a Thor 2. Like,
we do have a Thor protege. Technically, it's Valkyrie. Valkyrie's the movie. Go fight. Go fight.
You know why Clint gonna be out there now? He don't want no surprises. He don't want no surprise Dustin. Like last time.
You know what? No, that's fair. That's fair.
He didn't know what the hell going on.
Yeah, that's fair.
That is true.
I'm not sitting this one out.
Yeah, that man was in the middle of a whole barbecue with his whole family just gone. He's like, what was going on? Like, he said, nope, will not repeat that. Will not repeat that. Like, yep, hell no.
That is fair.
That is very fair. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Jamie. Thor got a whole daughter now. That man could fully retire.
I'm just saying, he hasn't though. He could, but he hasn't. Him and his daughter be out here fighting.
Technically, Clint has not said. Well, Clint did say it a lot. Never mind. Technically, he didn't say retire, but he did. He said a lot.
Clint is the Brett Favre of the MCU.
He retired a lot. He retired in Ultron too, but he came back. He retired a lot. Never came back. He
did. Because you know what it is? And it's so funny because people shit on Clint's character so much. But Clint does have that feeling of like,
the haters.
I got to come save y'all again, bro. Every time. Some shit pops off.
I don't know.
Yeah, y'all can't handle it. I gotta come save y'all. So fuck it, I'm here.
It's not something where I expected to be a full timer or whatever, but I just it's a little like an end game event, so he's not gonna sit it out.
Especially because Didge.
He sat out he sat out Infinity War. We sure he ain't gonna sit out again?
Time out.
Well, I mean,
I think because he sat out Infinity War. He was Trevon, but I think because he sat out Infinity War, he won't do it again. Because he knows the implications of something that big, I don't think it will. Didge, think about it. He came out of retirement because someone had his suit. If the world's ending and that motherfucker sit home, I'll be mad as hell. You came out of retirement because they played with your name, but you won't come save Earth?
Now look, this time I feel like it'll be a big ass incursion in the sky. His family be like, "You see?
Yeah, you're not gonna go."
Call your friend.
He gonna be, man, these steaks looking great. He gonna flip that next steak on the grill.
No. As the camera pans to the scene of Hawkeye, you're gonna see Hawkeye hanging up. It's gonna be clear to us before the end of the scene. Clint was called by Didge, and Didge said, "Fuck Earth, stay retired." Kate's got it, right? And then it'll pan to Kate, and Kate will be like, I don't know who the fuck Didge is, but please come help us.
Kate be like, I ain't got it.
What you got 1,000 messages from Kate.
Bro, Kate's gonna be like, bro, there's this villain here that looks just like Tony Stark. Please come help us. What is happening? Natasha's back. I don't know what's going. There's 6 Spider-Men. I don't know what's going. A man named Morbius. I don't know what's happening, dog. Come help us.
Morbius there.
Yeah, you got to say some kind of crazy shit to really get him out of it. Like, what's a Morbius? I don't know, but come help us. Come help us, dog.
Doctor Strange got a third eye now. Come on.
Yeah, Doctor Strange got a third eye. You know what I'm saying? He walking around with this blonde chick. I don't know what's happening, Clint. Clint gonna be like, damn, that's crazy. Good luck. Yeah, no.
He gonna give y'all be easy out there.
So we know now who works the PR for Clint. It's Didge. And all Didge's statement will be, whenever they're like, how come you didn't come help the other Avengers? All Didge is going to say is, not too much on Clint. Next question. Not too much on Clint. Next question.
Retirement means a thing. Y'all better rely on Kate Bishop.
That's crazy.
Because they aren't.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
To be fair, the only two that literally like so Kate and Hawkeye could just shoot arrows. Compared to everybody else, maybe can't really help too much. I mean,
now look, Trevon, I wasn't gonna be the one to say it.
Look, hey, I ain't gonna hold you. There's about to be a lot of them in this group that can't really do shit. Joel named Falcon. The fuck you gonna fly around? I mean, he can't really do shit either.
He can get off the ground. I'm just saying. At least he can get off the ground. Like,
I don't even have words for you, Trevon. No words.
All hands on deck.
All hands on deck. And Didge is a man of the people. He ain't no man of the people.
I am man of the people. Know when it's time to let the next person take over. You don't hold all the glory for yourself.
That's a damn shame. Yes, Didge is saying that. Meanwhile, if Tom Brady wanted to come back to New England today, Didge is saying, yeah, no, we don't have a quarterback. Sure, for sure. Please. Please.
we talking two separate things there.
Oh, no.
Retirement's retirement, dog. That's what you said. That's what you said.
Or Super Bowl.
Right. Same thing, right? Same thing. But no, so we were fizzling out the teams. I love the idea of the West Coast Avengers. I love the idea of the East Coast Avengers. Obviously, they wouldn't be called East Coast, just Avengers. Only the West Coast call themselves West Coast. Then we had, obviously, Midnight Suns, Young Avengers. Now, I wanted to ask you this, Joel. This was asked of me, and I've never frozen up on an MCU question like I did this. The question that was posed to me was, when Doomsday comes around or Secret Wars, what do you do with Thor's daughter?
I mean, I'm sure there's a babysitter.
A babysitter? Okay. See, now you and Didge are now on parallel sides here, and it's frustrating me. Because the moment I find
out here fighting
that all my power is throwing fists, and you got a little god at home, no. Bring her ass about here. I saw her fight at the end of Love and Thunder. We saw that shit. Bring her little ass out here. She a god. Bitch, I throw sticks and darts out my wrist. Come bring her ass out here and help me. You crazy as hell. Hell no, world ending. You talking about a babysitter? Bring your ass out here.
Did she literally come from eternity or some shit?
Yeah, she a god. In the full term.
Wasn't she carrying Stormbreaker at the end? Like she had it now.
Yes, and Joel talking about go sip some apple juice in the corner. Be in the front lines. You crazy as hell.
My only issue is like there's a lot of fucking characters. I don't have room for that. Girl.
There were so many
to make room, dog.
Joel was still going through his list when we broke off talking about Hawkeye.
Yeah, we ignored the rest of the list.
I will wait. So you don't want to make room for her on Young Avengers?
No, I don't.
Dang.
I hate to see it.
They don't need her. They don't need nobody else. They got her.
Dude, there's already enough characters in that group. I don't. She's
just
so unnecessary. It's
there.
ridiculous.
Look at him.
Well, I don't think y'all realize Chris Hemsworth, he ain't coming back if she not coming back.
Who?
Chris Hemsworth, he not coming back if she not coming back.
I doubt that.
That next movie, because you can't not unless you tell me she went to go live in New Asgard, a normal life.
I'm not saying erase her from history. I'm just saying I don't need her as a full-on member of whatever the fuck they're doing. That's all.
I tell you this though, Joel.
Asgard could use the hands too.
I tell you this. If you don't need her in the whole big thing of what they're doing, no problem. But her ass better be wherever Thor is. Wherever Thor is, her ass better be right there. That's all I'm saying. That's your little sidekick now.
What if there was a mandate to be like everybody needs a mini version or something of you. Everybody.
Well, she could be looked at as the future of the character Thor, since you decided to kill off the future of the character.
Until they develop her into something I give a fuck about, I don't give a fuck about her. How about that?
That the way that movie ended, you definitely gave a fuck, Joel.
I didn't. I still don't, because they don't. She's just there, which is cool, but I don't know her. They basically just made her up, and I don't care.
Not basically. They are.
She's like a variant of something that does kind of exist in the comics. Well, because she means very little to the overall factor of the Marvel universe. I don't have an attachment to her, so it's very hard for me to care about a character I never factored into my future. You understand?
Yeah, I completely understand, but 100%. Once you introduce her, canon.
But that's also not my problem anymore. That's their problem.
Do something with her.
Make them care for me, because I don't.
He did come back.
Chris Evans can come back. That's the whole point of Secret Wars.
He'll be back.
Now, what he'll come back as will be very interesting.
That's the question.
Because first thing Sam's going to say is, hey, I didn't work this hard to lose the title again. So I'm Cap. So I don't know what the fuck you're going to call yourself. Steve, right?
She come back as Human Torch. She come back as Human Torch.
No. We've explored
we
that.
need him flying right. We need him flying right beside Sam.
We need him
flying right beside each other. That should be lit.
Trevon, you know what I find hysterical?
What?
You had Kevin standing on stage telling you Fantastic Four will be in these Avengers movies.
Uh-huh.
So are we supposed to ignore the actual Johnny that we just got?
Wars. I didn't say. What's the other Avengers? Whatever other
Doomsday.
You said Secret Wars.
Even in Secret Wars, I think the whole reason we got Johnny in Deadpool and Wolverine is because we won't get Johnny in Secret Wars. The whole point should be to bring Cap back.
No.
Just like the whole point should have been to bring Stark back. But we saw what that turned into, right? So it's like, so for me,
I'm gonna let you know that's probably still on the table. Robert Downey Jr. might be doing a dual role.
Yeah, nah, you can't, because then you'll really confuse people on the concept of how that's supposed to be different. That'll be so confusing, bro.
Secret Wars, I'm expecting them calling it that has my expectations on. I can't even think of it. What the end of it is. So right there, they better have. I want everybody. I want all the variants. I want Human Torch. I want him to Cap. I want both.
Yeah, but you got him. I would be more on your side if he didn't just portray the Human Torch. Yeah, I'm like, but we've seen it. I'm like, to do it again won't have that effect.
I want to Dr. Krasinski again. I want it all.
Sure, you might be able to see. Hey, there is a council of Reeds. There is a council of Reed Richards. You could, if they wanted to play around with that, see that at some point. But as of now,
Thor core too.
There is a Thor core. That is true.
Look at the name of 4 hours. I'll sit there. Come on.
Yeah, please, no, don't do that.
Come on.
Don't do that. I'm getting older now. I can't do that shit. I think I fell asleep on an hour and 30-minute movie yesterday. So I can't do no 4 hours, man.
It was like 3.5. We can do another 30 minutes.
No, I'm saying I'm getting older now. Please don't do that.
I'm
getting
older too, but I still want it.
Please, yeah, please, no, please. Last time I sat in a movie that long was Batman, and I had to pee from the moment that movie started. Yeah. And it held that shit in for the entirety.
Why you don't drink anything? Yeah. Right before you go to stuff like that?
Yes, Trevon, I'm sorry, but I can't sit there for almost 4 hours and drink nothing. I can eat nothing, but I can't drink nothing, okay? My body starts to shut down. I need to drink something. Yeah, that's great.
For those movies, you need more discipline.
I had all the discipline. I didn't get up. I just don't want that again. I don't want that again.
Definitely alcohol.
Bring Halle Berry back and put her in the Thor court? What do you mean back? Halle Berry was never. Oh, you mean? Gotcha. I was gonna say she was never in the MCU. You mean? Okay, got you.
Yes.
No. If you bring Halle Berry back, she needs to be Storm, just so we get one final hurrah. Peace out, deuces, and then we introduce a new Storm.
Actually, no. Whenever we see Monica again, just have her pop up. That'd be cool.
No, but I'm saying she could still be Storm in Secret Wars because we won't have a new Storm until after. So I'm like, yeah, you can bring all those characters back, have all the fun you want, but get it out of your system.
Yeah,
right? Get it all out of your system.
That whole thing is giving me a headache. Like, how are they gonna fit everybody? Not everyone is gonna be in it. You have to know that.
No,
you have to know that. Like, you're not gonna be able to fit everybody in this movie. You just can't.
But see,
that's why I think Doomsday is gonna give you like half of something, and then Secret Wars will be the fun stuff. Will probably be in Secret Wars.
Like, I wouldn't be shocked, guys, if all the Fantastic Four stuff from Fox is in Doomsday. And then when you get to Secret Wars, it's the actual Fantastic Four. There is no repeat of Johnny, no repeat of Reed. They might just get that all out in Doomsday because it fits the best there, right? Where it's a whole movie about Doctor Doom. You bring in the variants of Fantastic Four, have all the fun you want with it, then get to Secret Wars, and your focus is back on your Fantastic Four for the MCU. I wouldn't be against that. Cool. I wouldn't be against that at all, right? Because, like, think about it. I don't believe a lot of the fun cameos you got in Deadpool and Wolverine you'll get again in Secret Wars, right? Outside of the obvious ones, right? Like probably Gambit and maybe Blade. Like your Psylocke characters like that, like the Toad, stuff like that.
No names?
Yeah, like the name no names. Like all the extra characters like that. They're done. That was their time. Right. That was their time in the sun. So.
I mean, you might get some fun cameo. I don't know. Secret Wars is very much it depends on how they do it. I really don't know how to do it. Is it going to be a new world like it is in the comic book where it's like just people exist in this new reality that Doom created? You know what I mean?
Right.
That could be anything's on the table then, because then any character could exist doing whatever, you know?
You got to get that body control. I will say this, Joel. I don't have a set expectation for Secret Wars and whatever shows up in it. But because of how lackluster I believed Multiverse of Madness was, it needs to be exponentially bigger than that little fucking crop duster you gave me in a movie called Multiverse of Madness, right? So for me, I thought Deadpool was a good middle ground, right? Where it didn't go too much, but wasn't too little, right? Or at least it was more... You kind of got a lot more fun with the other cameos rather than just giving me 4 people, right? And then they die. You know what I'm saying? I got to sit with it a little bit longer and actually have fun with it. So for Secret Wars, my expectation is higher, but it's not unrealistic. You know what I'm saying? It's not unrealistic, but there does need to be a beginning, middle, and end. And I thought Multiverse of Madness is the start. Deadpool and Wolverine was where that went. And now Secret Wars needs to amp that shit up. Now, whatever their version of amping up is, no problem. But it needs to be exponentially bigger than the last 2 multiversal projects.
Do you
that only dip their toe in it?
Just be all the people we've seen so far, like
through the history.
What like the people. You know, we got the 3 Spider-Man No Way Home. We got the little peek at Beast in the. You know where Monica is. That means the X-Men are there. Some version of them,
right?
Over there.
Right. We actually have a theory on that. We'll get to after this, Trevon. Me and Joel kind of map that out a little bit.
And all the stuff in Deadpool Wolverine. Maybe that's all, everything we've seen there. Those are all the characters we'll see again. Or in Multiverse of Madness, the other universe.
We'll get more because I find it hard to believe you won't get Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider. That's just one. That's just one. I find that very hard to believe. Especially since you don't currently have a Ghost Rider, why wouldn't you use the time to bring back maybe Gabriel, his version of Ghost Rider, Nicolas Cage's version of Ghost Rider? Me and Joel talked about this. Secret Wars is the perfect time to shut up the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan base, right? Have fun. Bring them all in. Who gives a fuck, right? Because once the whole world merges back together, you can go back to just kind of going, they don't exist, right? Or maybe... they change that Coulson is now alive in this new... Whatever they decide, it will be canon now. And it won't be a question of, well, technically it exists. No. What you have now is canon for the MCU. There is no maybe about it. This is the new canon. You know what I'm saying? Because after Secret Wars, you could do fun stuff like age T'Challa's son up. Now he can become Black Panther. Like, you can... This movie gives you a chance that you won't get again, where you can alter your reality, right? So whatever fuck-ups you did before, this is the time to fix it, because once this movie hits the end credits, that is it. There is no, another multiversal stuff. No, that's it.
Yeah, no, that should end.
Like time travel, multiversal travel, and Skrulls all need to die by the end of Secret Wars. It needs to be a 3-in-1. All gone. All gone. No more.
I would rather not, but okay.
What, Skrulls?
I like them. No, the multiversal stuff. I like the multiversal stuff.
To me, the multiversal stuff creates too much confusion, because then you get a scenario of, okay, the fans didn't like this movie. We'll use a multiversal story to wipe that out and introduce this. No. No. Whatever you put your name on going forward,
we're gonna have so many of them. This is the saga to do it. After that, we don't need to see more.
And I think what makes it even worse, Trevon, I just listened to someone saying this the other day. What makes what Marvel's doing right now with the multiverse exponentially worse and why it needs to end as soon as possible is you're getting other franchises wanting to do multiverse shit, right? So it's like now you're getting multiverse outside of just the MCU. You're going to water it down. And your audience will not be receptive to it.
And that's the problem. People were getting tired of it already. And that's like
also true.
I'm not getting me wrong. It hits every time there's a fucking movie. It hits. Like good money. No Way Home made money. They make money. Like the nostalgia hits like fucking butter. Like it works. But I think Secret Wars is where it should end because you need to focus on just building what you have the right way going forward
and setting it in stone.
Right. Yeah. Now you have all your characters. You don't got to play around like fake it. You got everybody Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four. Just go forward.
I'll accept that if they figure out how to do X-Men, like explain it where I'm not like that's bullshit.
Well, we told you already. The best way to do it is a new reality. They've always been here.
Right.
That's the only way to do it.
That's what a soft reboot does.
Trayvon, that's the only way to do it. You can't.
It's never going to be clean. Like it's too late. Like you're going to have to accept something that's kind of bullshit.
Yes, 100%. And do you agree that's the only way to do it? Is that now in this new reality, they've always been here, and now you could do things like have flashbacks or have prequel movies heading into, the new movies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you could do you could have after Secret Wars, right? A movie called Wolverine. Right? Or whatever Weapon X, or whatever you decide to call it. And it is the origin of James Howlett, right? Where you even go as far back as Dum Dum Dugan and fun shit like that, like putting memories in the MCU. You know what I'm saying? It gives you a chance to now implement those memories into the MCU.
Reality. That's the whole point to me, that's the whole point of Secret Wars, is to basically do what DC did with Crisis. In the
right.
Like put it on.
It's the smartest way to now, like you were saying earlier, it's the smartest way to now bring what's the new MO. This is the world now. Yeah. And like I said, it's gonna kind of be bullshit, but it's just because there's no other way to do it unless you were doing a complete reboot and you're saying nothing else matters. We're starting from day one.
You have three options. You completely reboot from scratch.
Right.
You accept the soft reboot as, with them bringing in everything else, like they were now the new history. Or those Fantastic Four, X-Men, and Avengers stay separate on separate Earths.
Right.
I'd rather not have that.
Right. That would be very counterproductive. Because then at that point, I'd be very much just like, well, just end the Avengers here, right? Like all of our OGs are dead. I don't really know where you narratively go with the rest of these teams. As scattered as they are.
Yeah, if you're not incorporating all these new characters into one world, what's the future here?
Yeah, exactly. So to me, that's not even an option. So it's only you either hard reset it or you somewhat reset it. And I think the somewhat is where we all are, right? That's the middle. That's the middle ground for everyone. The X-Men, Trayvon, look, Trayvon, unless you can pitch it to us in a way that's not a soft reboot, that you can sell us on the X-Men being here this whole goddamn time, I don't know another cleaner way to do it than to just say in this new reality. They've always been here, same as the Fantastic Four. They're not new. You know what I'm saying? I think you got to look at it to where in this new reality, they're new to the viewers, not to the universe. You know what I'm saying? So like in that reality, Sam's cat might have already, had an interaction with Reed Richards. You know what I'm saying? Or Charles Xavier. It won't be new to them. It'll only be new to us as the viewership.
Right.
That's why I was saying you could do something fun like T'Challa is dating Storm. You could do fun shit like that, right? And then we just get the backstory on how that happened.
You can age up the new T'Challa, and you don't have to really bring him back to life. You know what I mean?
Right.
You just age him up. There's a lot of things you can do.
Is there a specific way you wanted it that didn't seem bullshit to you that could work?
I just can't wait to see how they do this. That's all.
I mean, we're with. Look, from the moment they acquired Fox, this has been our thought process of how do you do this in a way that won't make us very angry, and that was, I believe, universally the way we all coped with it. When we found out that they were probably heading towards a Secret Wars, we were like, "That's where you do it. Yeah. That's where you do the soft reboot. That's where you integrate it. They've always been here. We're good."
Yeah,
we're good.
You can't have a Captain America movie that's literally coming out next year, finally introducing adamantium now. Right. So that means Wolverine didn't have it. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. That's why it's cool to introduce it to the audience now. So when you do a Wolverine movie down the line, the idea of adamantium isn't new, right? They've already heard of it numerous times.
No, people that know Wolverine know.
Well, I'm saying just the casual viewer. Like the term adamantium won't seem like a whole new language. It's like, what? Yeah, you know what it is. Now, my question, and I want to start with you, Didge. With this picture on screen, my question to you is, and this has been something I've thought about all yesterday in preparation for this show. So obviously, we're getting Victor Von Doom in Doomsday, right? The Avengers are going to go against Dr. Doom, probably in Doomsday and probably in Secret Wars. So my question to you is, everyone is under the assumption, right, which is fair, that Robert Downey Jr. is only Doomsday to help sell these two Avengers movies. And then once we hit that soft reboot, we'll get another official Doctor Doom for that new universe that we now are in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, once they defeat Victor Von Doom, will that then, after Secret Wars, erase their knowledge of Doom? Because to me, if it doesn't, and you now introduce Doom into this new universe, won't half of them already know? I know how to beat you. We just did it. Like, I know who you are. I know where you stay. I know what you're about. I know all these things. Or does it reset the whole logic of they didn't know that Doom? They know now this new Doom.
So I wonder if this Doom isn't going to have everything that the actual Doom is going to have. Because I do also think that they're going to get a different Doom. Like, I don't think that he's the Doom moving forward.
Right.
It would be a waste because I feel like he's probably not making it out of these two movies. The way that they announced it was very purposeful of this is your Doom for these movies.
Right.
So I almost think that like he's not going to have everything that a true Doctor Doom is going to have in his arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the difference comes. Like because then you get I do feel confident. Oh, we beat Doom before. I know how to do this. And then when it doesn't work with the true Doom, you're like, okay, wait. What's different here? What's going on? And now you can create a whole new layer to the story.
I love that you said that because I was hoping you said that because my response to that is, well, now here's where it becomes frustrating for Doomsday, right? It's because my interpretation, once they announced this moment right here, was the Doctor Doom you give us of RDJ has to be a more magical Doom. Because if you go more tech-based, it is you just making evil Iron Man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you do go magic-based, that means when you do get Doom, he's just, just tech. You know what I'm saying? So how do you blend the two essences of magic and tech with RDJ that won't just scream Iron Man's using wizardry?
Well, if they still go the route of Battle World, he got that power from, was it Molecule Man? I forgot the guy's name.
You mean him with the Beyonder?
Yeah.
Beyonder.
Yeah. So like
help of the Molecule Man.
So like if you're going that route, which I assume they are just with like Secret Wars, then at least it's not the exact same powers that a Doctor Doom is going to have in any other Fantastic Four storyline. So there's still that differentiation there.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I can think of.
That's definitely interesting. I just thought it would be a beautiful narrative, right? Because remember how against magic Stark was, right? He was all anti-magic, anti-gods. That's not real. Science is what's real, right? So to bring RDJ back in a form where magic is his obsession, right? And science is kind of just what he uses to amplify the said magic. I thought that would have just been a great contrast from where he was before. So it just helps further sell the idea of how different this is supposed to be from Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? That's where I think they just royally fucked themselves. Is that most of your script is just convincing your core audience that it's not just evil Iron Man. You know?
Yeah, because you can't make it so his armor is giving him all the powers.
Exactly, right. It can't attach to him like it did with, like, you're limiting yourself. Even me and Joel said, you can't even do the most accurate Doom thing and have his mask melded to his face, because if you're not showing his face, why are you spending $95 million on Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's going to be, and I don't bring this up as like a complaining thing. I bring it up because it's a fun concept to know that they are probably in there tirelessly trying to figure out, for our core audience, we have to make sure we are separating church and state here, right? So that it's no confusion on if we're blending the two. They're separate. But that's why I think this will probably be RDJ's best acting he's ever done, right? Because you have to be so polar opposite from what you spent the last 15 years being with Tony Stark.
You have to be Doom. You have to be Von Doom, right? So, to me, he has to be. It makes the most sense. Like, when they announced him as Von Doom, I took it as he's going to be playing Von Doom, right?
Right.
He's playing Victor, not Tony variant. He's playing Victor.
Right.
Not Tony Von Doom. It's Victor.
Right. Yeah, you know what I mean. So he's playing Victor Von Doom. So I expect him to play it like that. He just looks like him, just like Johnny looks like Captain America, but wasn't Captain America. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just one of those situations. But like you said, like the main reason they chose RDJ is because it has to hit emotionally somewhere at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when. I think what happens is
Secret Wars.
Yeah, but I mean, well, probably, yeah, definitely. Because you know what's going to, I think it was going to, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. You think so? Because Doomsday is the first one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but when I say emotionally, I don't know if, because again, that's why not knowing where Armor Wars is a little frustrating, because Armor Wars would explain to me how long Rhodey's not been Rhodey, right? Because if Rhodey was Rhodey when Stark died, then it's not going to hit as hard. But if Rhodey was not Rhodey when Stark died, the moment he sees his face, the idea of knowing he missed out on Tony before he died, and now seeing him come back and he's like, Tony? But it's not Tony. It'll hit. Seeing how much Stark's death hurt Peter is going to hit when he sees his face. You know what I'm saying? It's like all those moments will hit. I don't know if you need to have it in Doomsday with everything you have to set up.
Right.
But Secret War, because think about it. Doom does not have to show his face in Doomsday. It's almost preferred.
I agree.
You can have a moment where they're beating the shit out of him, his mask falls off, and that's when the oh, go ahead, Joel. Go ahead.
Before I was gonna mention it earlier, but my thing is both Secret Wars, he gets the Beyonder's powers in both of them. In the original Secret Wars, and he gets it in the second Secret Wars, right? So in the first Secret Wars, his face is healed. In the second one, it's not. Like everything, he gets his world and everything, but his face doesn't get healed. So he stays behind the mask. You know, when he's got Emperor Doom. I think it's reversed though. I think what happens in this movie is like that's when he becomes the God Emperor Doom. That's when he'll take off the mask and he'll look like himself, and to himself will be Tony. Everyone on our Earth will look at him and go, "That's Tony. That looks just like Tony." And for him, he's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But
I don't know what a Tony is.
I don't know who that is. But that'll be the emotional beat. Now, will that be at the end of Doomsday, or will that be in the beginning of Secret Wars? Probably at the end of Doomsday, would I imagine. That's how it ends. He gets
that would be a cool cliffhanger.
Yeah,
and that's how it leads into Secret Wars, and he can be maskless for the whole movie if he wants, because he's healed. Because at the end of the original Secret Wars, he doesn't even wear the mask anymore. He just wears the
Yeah, it's gonna be. Oh man!
So y'all thinking Avengers Doomsday is gonna happen within the Fantastic Four's world?
No.
I think
we're believing. No. Joel, I think what Trevon's asking is, will it be on that universe? No, I think what we're saying is that he comes from their universe. That's where that Doom comes from. But I think a lot of the fighting will happen in the 616.
I think it'll be
everything's gonna merge into the 616.
That's the problem. My only thing is like by the time you get. Because Secret Wars 2 does go into incursions and other Earths. But by the time you get to the beginning of Secret Wars, there's only 2 Earths. There's the 616 and the Ultimate Universe. So I don't know if there's only going to be 2 Earths left at the beginning of Doomsday. Because the Fantastic Four Earth might be fucked by the time we get to Doomsday. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, it could be fucked by the end of their movie.
Yeah, exactly. And so what happens, maybe the Fantastic Four find a way to the 616, and that's where they escape to. And now Doom is free, or whatever the fuck, doing whatever he's doing. And the last 2 Earths are the 616 universe and whatever that fucking X-Men universe is, right?
Right.
And that'll be the incursion. That's the event they're both trying to stop, and they can't, and then it's gonna end up Battle World's gonna some shit like that. I haven't finished reading the second one yet.
I mean, I completely agree with that, because it seems like the premise of this Fantastic Four movie is that Reed is tinkering with multiversal travel, right? And it seems as though we'll probably hear about Doom. Then who knows? An end credit scene could be Doom using their multiversal travel to follow them, right? And then in following them, you could have it to where he ends up in the void, like Joel keeps saying about the void, and that's where he decides that's his stomping ground.
Yeah, I think
that's where he decides to make his right.
Yeah, I think.
So it could happen like that, right? Where the Fantastic Four, because maybe it's not as simple as their world is ending, right? It could be as simple as Reed has been tinkering with multiversal travel this whole movie, figures out how to use it, and they're just going to look at other universes, and in doing so, maybe Galactus comes, swallows their world. Maybe their universe isn't in trouble yet. Maybe it's just their world.
Maybe that's how it attracts Galactus. The fact that he finds out that there's something that can travel between universes.
Right.
Being the one thing, you know, how he tries to study him, trying to figure out how he does it so he can figure out how to do it himself. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it could, their world, their Earth could be the last one for the Galactus to devour. And he's like, that's it? And then he finds out, there's a whole vast different universes I could go and consume. Well, fuck yeah. Let's do it, right? And maybe that's why there's a lot of people are theorizing Galactus isn't one of many. That's the only Galactus, but he finds a way to follow them. And that's how he ends up with the 616 in this new universe that they develop after Secret Wars. And that's how we'll probably get the 616's version of Silver Surfer. To go along with that Galactus.
I know y'all were talking about the Beyonder, or I don't know who that is, but would that be?
I love how Trevon's like, I don't even care for y'all to tell me who he is. I don't know.
It sounds cool. His power sounds awesome, but I'm thinking, could that be replaced with the Watcher?
No, I think Uatu will have his own role in Secret Wars.
I'm saying that's the power that Doom takes. Is the Watcher?
No, because the Beyonder's power, as a lot of people were theorizing, could just be Kang. That could be Kang. That kind of merges the idea of becoming the Beyonder. Because we know Kang has power, right? And they've highly established that in the MCU, especially because most of us believed the rings had something to do with Kang. The 10 rings. So I'm like, he clearly has a higher form of tech or power, right? So right. Doom could merge because think about it. The rings are a mix of, I assume, technology and mysticism, right? So it's the idea of that's Doom's that's a sweet spot right there. Right. Mixing tech with magic. So stuff like the 10 rings and stuff like that. Like, think about this.
Bam.
How dope would it be to see Doom take away 5 of the rings from Shang-Chi, right? And Doom has the rings. He takes some of what Kamala is able to do. Like, Doom really becomes this massive entity, essentially, to become, God Emperor Doom, right? You can really just go crazy with it. So,
side note, the Beyonder needs a new name because I don't like that his name is also his race's name.
Oh, Beyonders.
Yeah, that's been bothering me for years.
Bitch, can I be honest with you? I don't think the name Beyonder will probably be in the MCU. I think it will be Kang. And I think you might get the name God Emperor Doom, but I don't think the name Beyonder will probably be in there.
That's fine, because once I found out that was also the race, I was like, I don't like this name anymore.
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know how that's the thing. I didn't know how well the Beyonder would fit into this version of it. That's why the idea of it being a variant of Kang is always interesting. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen because look, in both versions of Secret Wars, there's always been Molecule Man that was how to help Doom take the powers of the in some way figured out how to get to beyond their powers, right? Now I don't know. They've not set up a Molecule Man. I have no idea if they're ever going to. Maybe they'll be someone else.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
It's not hard to believe that if we're theorizing Doom is heading into multiversal travel, something goes awry and he ends up in the void. You know how they can connect this all, Joel?
No.
We don't know where Kang went at the end of Ant-Man Quantumania.
Oh, yeah.
That machine could have taken him into the void.
Yeah.
So in the void, he could have enslaved someone like a Molecule Man. And Doom is kind of the freer of the void, right? He's looked at as the hero of the void. Frees them from Kang, assumes Kang's power with the help of Molecule Man, and that's now Doom's realm, right? And then that's where Doom starts to take over and does what he does.
But they could also, yeah, that's possible. I mean, they could also do a version where there's a substitute, so they don't use Molecule Man. Maybe they use Wanda if Wanda comes back by then, and they can use her reality bending abilities to basically replace what Molecule Man does. They can do with Scarlet Witch if they wanted to.
So you're thinking maybe when she disappeared, she went to the void.
I'm not. I'm just saying that's a possibility if whatever way they decide to bring her back, that she might. That's how she plays a factor in this overarching story. I have no idea. Again, this is all speculation. Again,
I love it. I love it. Look, we were speculating, Trevon and Didge, about the X-Men universe of this portion, right? So Deadpool and Wolverine. Let's just go over this, okay? Deadpool and Wolverine swears up and down they weren't going to touch Logan. They weren't going to tarnish the legacy of Logan. I think what went over a lot of people's head is that when they dug him up at the beginning of the movie, that wasn't the disrespect of the movie Logan. I know a lot of people thought it was. That wasn't the disrespect. The disrespect was the end of the movie, where they essentially told us as viewers, that world doesn't exist anymore. This is the new Wolverine in this universe that Logan died
right
in.
Here.
Right. This is the new X-23 and Wolverine. Forget what you saw there. That doesn't exist anymore. This is Prime now. So it got me and Joel thinking, if you're saying that universe of Logan, which, by the way, for a lot of people that forget, takes place in the distant future in the world Deadpool currently is in a way distant future. So the fact that X-23 is older and in current day, hilarious.
Well, but that's the thing I don't know, because in Deadpool, that Logan was dead, right?
No, we never heard
I thought that was the whole point why his world was. And granted,
Deadpool's Wolverine was dead, but not
in Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the first Deadpool. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, I mean, I don't know. I agree. I agree with you overall. I'm just trying to. I was talking with someone else, and they're like, "So now, is there 2 Wolverines in that universe?"
Question.
And I'm like, "No, because that one's dead."
Right, but that one's dead in the distant future. So that's why I'm saying
it was dead in the current time of Deadpool's time, though.
That wouldn't make any sense.
Because the only reason we know this, Didge, is because luckily, thank the heavens, Logan gave us a timeline. Deadpool gave us a timeline. Those 2 timelines aren't the same. They don't take place at the same time. So that's how you know one's in the distant future, one's in our current or close to our current. It's why when he went to go visit Happy, it gave us context of exactly where Deadpool is current day.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That took place right after Deadpool 2, right? Because remember he's going through his time travel. That happened in 2018. That's when Deadpool 2 came out. It's current day, those movies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it just so happens Deadpool Wolverine came out when? In 2024. Right. So when does it take place in his time? 2024. It's the same year. But Logan does not take place in modern day. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's the only reason why we connected those dots. In another way, we connected it. Well, in another way, we connected dots. So we were saying, if Logan, right, is now wiped away, but it's in that same universe as Deadpool right now. We know who the Charles Xavier was in this universe. It was Patrick Stewart's Charles Xavier, right? So me and Joel got to theorizing. It's very possible Monica ended up in Deadpool's universe because you had Beast talking about Charles Xavier. We are not meant to believe that Charles Xavier is dead in Deadpool's universe, right? So it's very possible that, because remember, this is the most important thing to remember. Monica interacted with Kelsey Grammer's Beast, not just a Beast, Kelsey Grammer's Beast. So that's meant to believe that it's connected to the Patrick Stewart's X-Men. And if that's the case, they're all in Deadpool's universe. That whole X-Men universe is where Monica is right now in Deadpool's universe.
But then if you say that, though, that means Wolverine exists.
Yes. Already. Yes. That's what we're saying. Deadpool,
but they were saying the world was dying because he didn't have a Wolverine there.
Yes.
It doesn't make any sense, though, because he should still have one.
But that's why we're saying, remember, the TVA exists outside of time. So we don't know where timeline-wise they were saying. We're assuming that they're probably talking about the events of that are after Logan, right? Yeah. So that's way down there. Again, why that makes sense of how way down there is now affecting way back there.
Well, that's fine. No,
that's
I'm saying that's fine, though. But where's the Wolverine currently then?
That's the question that we can't answer, because here's the thing. Once they fix the timeline, I don't know what the fuck that I don't know what that means. Right? Did he replace that Wolverine?
So this is what I believe. I believe once what's her name? The head of the TVA now. I can't remember her name. Yes, sorry, thank you. I believe, Trevon, that once she accepted letting that Wolverine stay, they just pruned whoever the other Wolverine was at that time. That's my theory, is that they just pruned him. So he's gone. That whole Logan world is now an Elseworld story. But that's not canon to anything anymore.
Fine. It still doesn't make it
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense now.
We all agree
about it. Now it just doesn't make sense because they were like, your world is ending because of you not
but he
having
fixed
a
it. They fixed it at the end.
But
right. That's
sense.
why we were saying
but you still had one. That's the problem. Like you would
never.
Why,
they never. That's the thing. They never explain it. They don't tell you how he fixed it. Maybe they're waiting to tell us later. I have no idea.
I feel like
assuming
Deadpool's in a branch timeline because of all the changes he's made. Remember they were saying like
I believe he was creating a branch timeline because of all the changes he made.
Well, I'm saying I'm talking about all
currently in it.
That's all the stuff he fixed, all the stuff he was bringing people back.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
That's why he was being hunted too.
Right.
Well, I'm saying the branch timeline doesn't have a Wolverine. That's what I'm going with. The branch he made does not have a Wolverine in it, or the other X-Men. That's what I'm going with. Like that's the only thing that makes sense.
So you're saying Deadpool and Wolverine in their own universe?
Yes, that's what I'm going with. That's the only thing that makes sense.
I will tell you this: it's hard to argue it because we have no context.
I can't even tell you no context. Yeah, I have no idea.
We have no context to anything, but we try to make it make sense because it's hard to believe that Monica is in a branch universe where there is X-Men and Deadpool is in one where there are no X-Men, right? Because then it kind of starts to sound like, well, now you're just making up shit to where now you're going to tell us where Monica is, there is no Wolverine. Because where Deadpool is, there is one, right? Because it's essentially what you don't have, we do, right? And that's where it becomes really confusing. That's why for me and Joel, it made more sense. They were all in the same universe. So that way, if you take the Fantastic Four universe, that's the Fantastic Four. The X-Men universe is the one Deadpool is in. And then the 616 is where your Avengers are. And now it's a story about how those three worlds are becoming one. As opposed to there's a universe here, right? That's a lot more confusing and unnecessary. Just have there be four universes. Fantastic Four, X-Men, MCU, and then Sony universe. That's it. There you go. 4 universes. That's it. That's all there needs to be. That's all it needs to be.
Oh, no. For me, it's Deadpool's in his own. Because that would explain why he didn't have a Wolverine, because he messed up too much shit. That's how I look at it. He messed up too much by doing all whatever he did. That's why there's no Wolverine there or other X-Men. He's stuck.
Well, they said in the beginning when they got him, like Your timeline is dying because your Wolverine died. They said they don't know when and how long it's going to take for your timeline to eventually decay. But he's like,
Did they say died or didn't have one?
No, died.
No, died.
Yeah.
They're talking about Logan. They literally are talking about. That's why when he went back and found a corpse.
Right, because remember, he believed that there's no way your body rots if you heal. Right? It's like you would just slowly heal.
Alive. He's not actually dead. But he went back and found the corpse. Now, again, the timeline is where things get fucked up because Logan didn't happen when Deadpool 2 happened. I mean, that just does not make sense.
Right. And we know there is a X-Men team, but the X-Men team that they showed us is the rebooted X-Men universe with Michael Fassbender in there. So that's where it's kind of just like, well, we don't know which one was the actual one. Maybe that was just timing, right? Because they were filming the new X-Men
needs
movies.
To be pruned,
right?
Because all this extra bullshit.
Right. So again, Trevon, let's be very clear. Everything you're saying could be 100% true. We're not refuting anything you're saying. We're just saying both sides could potentially be true, but neither one of us will know until they explain it.
No.
The movie did not do a good job explaining that at all.
Now that y'all just said about, yes, now remember he was in the universe where it was the rebooted X-Men.
Right.
They did not have a Wolverine yet. They didn't meet him.
No. Yes,
he ran away. They met him. He ran away. He ran off.
Right.
Maybe he got killed when he ran off somewhere.
That's possible.
And that's fine. I can take
that's possible. Yeah, that's possible. Oh, so your hang-up was that it could be a universe that already had a Wolverine. Where did that Wolverine go?
In my mind, for some reason, I was thinking Deadpool was in the Halle Berry X-Men universe.
Yes, that's what we're saying. Yes, that's what we're saying.
But now that you tell me he's in the First Class universe, to me that is the
no. That's not what we're saying. But that's not what we're saying.
Well, that's the ones he met though. Remember, he came to the school.
Hold on, me and Joel got you. Hold on, watch this. Me and Joel got you. Do you remember how Days of Future Past ended?
Yeah.
Days of Future Past is how that new branch was able to continue. But what branched from that movie was that Hugh Jackman went back to the Halle Berry universe. Me and Joel are saying Deadpool is that branch that had the Halle Berry universe. That's in the Halle Berry universe. Because that Logan is what went on to be the movie Logan. You get what we're saying? We're saying that Wolverine.
Trayvon.
See, they messed me up because I was ready to be like, okay, it's fine now because I remember them open he was like, where are all the X-Men at? And they closed the door. The younger ones. Right. So I was like, okay, those versions do not have a Wolverine yet. He ran off. So that now I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's the one
that also was
he died somewhere.
That movie.
I know it's the same universe. I know technically it's the same.
No. That movie in modern day, and those characters should not be that age at that time.
Right. I think that was more of the time of. It was around the time where they were doing something with the X-Men, so it was a fun cameo to kind of just put it in there. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't have made sense if the cameo was, Halle Berry's universe sitting in that room, right? It would have caused more questions than answers.
No, because they were pushing the new universe.
Exactly. Right. See? Thank you, DJV. This is why we're saying the multiverse and time travel shit need to die. Come Secret Wars.
For me, I'm fine. I think as long as it's the First Class ones, for me, I'm fine with it. That will
all of it gotta go. All of it's gotta go.
I'm fine with that.
Has to go. But okay, that's no problem if you're making that your headcanon. I just want to make sure you're understanding that's not what I'm saying. It's not in that universe. In my idea, it's not in that universe. It's in the Halle Berry universe, which is why I'm saying we'll probably see Halle Berry and was it Femke? Femke is her name, whatever that played Jean. Okay, thank you. We could see them return in things like Secret Wars, as opposed to seeing Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy. That's probably unlikely. That's what I'm trying to say. Because to them, that doesn't exist anymore. Kevin Feige worked with the original X-Men team. that's probably the ones he's going to bring back. That's probably the ones that's canon.
So this is okay. So this is where my mind is with Deadpool. With Deadpool, he is in the world with the first class ones. That's why there's no Wolverine. That one died. They need another one. Cool. That's where I'm at. So where Monica went is where the Halle Berry X-Men are. That's where she went. That's why we see that Beast.
So then my question to you,
once I saw that Beast, that gives
the same
me
X-Men.
Yes,
so
that
then,
gives me.
My question to you would be,
but the timeline
why
for me, it worked.
Why give us? Because remember, if that's what you wanted to do, you could have easily had Nicholas Hoult walk in the room, right? You have to imagine Nicholas Hoult is cheaper than Kelsey Grammer, right? So you could have had Nicholas Hoult's piece walk in that room.
I don't know about that now.
Not now.
Nicholas Hoult is not demanding more money than Kelsey Grammer. That motherfucker got Frasier back on the air. Kelsey Grammer is legacy. Legacy can definitely charge you.
Felt like watching Frasier.
I don't completely understand that, but Frasier.
I used to hear the Frasier theme song come on and be like, "Well, it's bedtime, y'all."
Yeah, that is what it was bedtime. Yeah, it was senior citizen hours. But to me, I kind of just feel as though you went out of your way to make sure we knew that was Kelsey Grammer's piece.
Yeah, that was on purpose.
Therefore, in my opinion, that means we're in his universe. In his universe was Patrick Stewart, Halle Berry. Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So to me, it makes more sense instead of making three possible universes within the Deadpool universe, is one. Not three.
It's much easier. Yeah, look, there's no good answer because they fucked that up the timeline. Again, 100%. That's all that universe does is fuck with the timeline. So you don't thinking about it too hard. Don't hurt yourself because you watch all those movies and try to put things together.
I got my universes now.
Yeah, Trevon put it together for him. I'm not gonna lie. I was trying to as y'all were talking. I got more and more confused.
You cannot do it. Like if you with your right state of mind, you cannot process any of those movies make sense.
No, as soon as y'all reminded me of them, like he was like, "Where'd all the X-Men at?" I remember that scene. Now I'm good.
Yeah, but that makes that scene makes no sense in the movie, at all.
I will tell you this now, Trevon. I will now lose sleep because of the idea that I just gave you a concept I was hoping to keep you the furthest way away from. So thank you. I'll lose sleep now, so I appreciate that. Love you so much. All right. Yeah. Let's move on because now I've upset myself. I've upset myself. It has nothing to do with you, Trevon. I've upset myself, and I blame myself. So. All right, let's move on. All right, so we got some rumor mills, guys. It looks like we have gotten what seems to possibly be our short list for Hal Jordan when it comes to James Gunn's DC universe. And it looks like it's leading off with an offer sheet to Josh Brolin. But then we're hearing if Josh Brolin says no, they just went and found the oldest motherfuckers that they could find. We're hearing names like Timothy Olyphant, Chris Pine, Matthew McConaughey, and Ewan McGregor.
They basically said we get daddy.
We heard that McConaughey and Ewan McGregor. This morning, we heard those two names brought out by Jeff Snyder. Right. That they're next in line, and then we heard from a separate source that's not true. Not that it's not true. They're on the list, but that it's actually Chris Pine would probably get the first offer after Brolin. Yes. Which Timothy Olyphant's also on that list. But
I will say, James Gunn will get the producer of the generation if he can take what the DCEU wasted in Chris Pine and give him the role we all thought he had last time Chris Pine was casted in the DC universe. When we first started hearing about Chris Pine in the DCEU, everyone assumed it was Green Lantern. Every single person on Earth. Then when they were just like Steve Trevor, we were just like, oh, maybe it's a joke, and it ends with him being Hal Jordan. And then the more we got closer to Wonder Woman, we were just like, I'm sorry, you paid all this money to make him Steve Trevor? No, that doesn't make any sense. But we went through it, and now it looks like we're on the other side. It's a possibility the world could be right. Right? Everything could fix itself. Chris Pine could come back where he belongs. Didge, I want to start with you. Out of these names here, which one would you like for it to land on? All right, they said Idris Elba. I don't disagree. No,
I did not. That's a tough one. I can easily tell you who I hope it is not. And this has nothing against them as an actor, because I think every one of these people are phenomenal actors. I hope it's not Matthew McConaughey. I don't know if I can. I don't know if he can. I've never heard him not have that accent, and I don't know if I want that accent.
First of all, that's crazy, because that's definitely not an accent. That is just I guess that's. That I've never heard anyone else talk like Matthew McConaughey. I swear to God, it's like Matthew McConaughey slang.
I've never heard
It's a subtle Southern drawl.
Subtle?
I still believe he made that up. I don't think that's an actual Southern drawl. I think Matthew McConaughey just did it one day, and someone was just like,
I mean, he is. He's from Texas. Yeah, he's from Texas.
Yeah, he's from Texas.
No, for sure.
Texas boy. Texas boy.
It's just it's too thick, and I don't know if he can not have it, and it works for every other movie. I just don't know if I want it here.
You're not wrong, dude. This is the first thing I thought about. I'm like, I could see it, but like, here, can I hear it? I don't know if I can hear it.
But
bro, that oath, the way he would say it, man, I'd be done by the trailer. Like, all right, yeah, I can't, I can't, and you got to say this more than once in this movie. I can't do it.
So like, I definitely.
Here you go, Didge. Here you go.
I would have those.
Oh, wait. Wrong comment. Hold on. Wrong comment. Here you go.
Oh my God. All
right.
I tell you what, if whoever he's fighting lets him go through that long ass soliloquy right there and didn't kill him, bro, come on, man. Come on, man.
Normally do it during a fight.
All right, Jamie.
We didn't have to use the spray for Trevon today. Apparently, we got to use it for you. So, spray. I'm
gonna go Timothy Oliphant though. I'd like to see him get it. I like him as an actor. I hope he gets more. Obviously, he gets a lot of roles, but I like to see him in more things.
I'd say he's the only one that has not had anything major out of everyone here.
Yeah.
Right? Because you look at Interstellar, most people thought that was like an Oscar-worthy performance. Obviously, one of these guys was Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obviously, another one of these guys brought Star Trek back. Another one of these guys snapped away half of the fucking universe when he wasn't time traveling as an assassin, right? So Timothy would be because Timothy, you know what it is? Timothy is the only one up here. If we were to bring this into hip-hop terms, Timothy is your underground rapper. Timothy is your Jadakiss amongst your Jay-Z's, your Snoops, your Kendricks, your Drakes. Like, that's where Timothy would fall under. Not discrediting him, but definitely saying you didn't focus on mainstream enough.
He had, like you said, he had a lot of good stuff.
He's got hood classics, because Justified is dope.
It's fucking great.
It's dope.
It's great.
That's a hood classic, right? That's a hood
Santa Clarita Diet. I don't know what to tell anybody.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
I enjoyed that phenomenally.
So I'm not against that, because I've been a massive fan of his for so long. I would hope so, but it's just because when I look at Chris Pine, I see the vision. It's clear as I do for Jake as Batman.
That's too
no. I'm sorry. I sat through being creative. That's what the DCEU was. It was a bunch of creative swings that just so happened to work. But nobody in those roles I could have ever dreamed would be in those said roles.
Oh, shit.
We now need to venture in.
I take it back. He's going to be an alien Earth. I need him to focus on that. Never mind.
Why can't he do two things?
No, man.
You got Pascal holding down 3 franchises. Why can't Timothy do 1 or 2? I'm sorry. Why can't he do 2?
No, man. He needs to hold down alien Earth.
And also, remember this, Didge. This is the most important thing you got to remember. There's a very good chance whoever gets casted as Hal Jordan will only be Hal Jordan for this one show, and then it might be years before we see them again. Because the whole point is to pass it off to John, right? So
I also forgot that. Never mind. I'm back in.
It's kind of just, they pop in, right? So
I also forgot that. I'm back in.
I'm back. Okay. So Didge is going for Timothy. Trevon, I guess which one are you calling Daddy Hal, right? I guess is how you would want this presented. Which one?
His face.
Dave McConaughey.
Mazeres.
Is this like a sexy buffet for you? Like, you do know you can only have one dish. You can't have like...
Not McConaughey.
So not Matthew. Okay, so Matthew's out. Okay, all right. Okay, we don't do Matthew.
Based on a TV show he was the head of.
That's true.
He was in the show that they're
Obi-Wan or Steve Trevor. There you go.
So no one gets their real name. So not Ewan McGregor or Chris Pine, right? It's okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, either one of them. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. DJV gave you a new name, so it's you don't have to say Green anymore.
I mean, that's what it looked like they're going with, right? I mean,
no, that's not any of our thoughts were. We just were thinking older. I don't think any of us were thinking. Daddy. I don't think I was going that route. All right, so you're going either Chris Pine or Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
Okay. Joel, which one would you prefer? Not what seems like it's going to be, just which one would you prefer?
Yeah, my preference is the man that I thought should have been Green Lantern from the beginning, and that was Chris Pine. I'm open to any of these guys doing it, obviously, but especially Timothy. I love Timothy Olyphant, and like you said, he deserves something bigger. Alien's good, but he could do better.
I mean, he did dip his toe in Star Wars, but there's a very good chance we'll never see him again.
but it's a very minor character. I still wish he was a bigger character.
Right.
Right. So, like, as interesting as it would be to see McConaughey's version of the Green Lantern, or the McGruff, Josh Brolin version of it, but Chris Pine, I felt like it was boring for it. So it's like, I don't know why he wasn't your first option. But
you know why? Is because I think if you went to Chris first, I think the audience's reaction wouldn't have been sold on the idea that you won't see him as much. Because the whole point is to prop up John, right? I'm okay seeing Josh Brolin every leap year. Right, like I'm okay with that. Like I, there's not much to cry over with that. But to finally get the perfect casting, only for you to pass it off to Jon Stewart, would very much anger me. Like, it would be the equivalent of they were like Jake Gyllenhaal's Batman, but this is about Batman when he hands it off to Terry, and it's like no. Like we want years with this Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like. Give us years, you know. So
I mean, we don't really know what the story is. Like you said, obviously, I believe John will be the main Lantern that we'll be seeing the most of, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Like how if he still exists by the time we go forward past a certain point, will probably be used as sparingly. And that's probably what will sell one of these guys on it. That you don't have to be the main face all the time. We'll call you in once in a blue moon, big events, or maybe you are the big event. You know what I mean?
You never know. We talked a little bit about that. Parallax.
We did talk about that. It's possible. It's always a possibility that's the direction they go with, especially. I know Josh. Everyone. The first thing people thought of when they got Josh was like, "Oh, they're going to do Parallax." I'm like, we don't know that. We're just assuming.
I will say,
we don't know that.
I am stuck on that. If Josh gets announced any day now, that's exactly where they're going. Exactly.
Yeah, so he's going to be bad. I'm like, relax. We were legit don't know anything about that yet.
Just saying. They looked at all these people and they were just like, one of them guys was Thanos. Like James is like, I directed him. I know how evil that fucker could be.
They want to reverse Lethal Weapon. They want this Hal Jordan to be like, I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
They want him to be the Danny Glover. Yep. That's what it is.
That's hilarious. Go ahead, Trevon. I'm sorry.
I was just thinking about that last Green Lantern. Was it a movie that I watched? The one who was evil, or how it became
the John Stewart.
Oh, thank God! Oh, I thought you were talking about Ryan's. Yes, the animated one. Yes.
And I was like, oh my
yes.
God.
The animated one. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that they use the elements of that. What we're talking.
That's where a lot of us think if they get.
And a lot of people got upset with that animated movie, but that's what happens in the comics. Like
I think a lot of people got upset because again, you keep starting us. Because think about it, New 52 did it. Right, it started us with Hal, and then it immediately just went to John, and that was just over conversation. all of a sudden it was just John.
How was it for a while with the 52?
No, I mean the new 52 movies. The movies, not the comics. The movies. Well, the movies transitioned to John rather quickly. So I think for a lot of people, they're like, I just want Hal, man, for a little bit. Like, just give me Hal. Give me Hal. Let me just
have John. Like, what was it? Just like Dark, he showed up.
It was right around Dark, right? So Hal was only in 2 or 3 movies, and then John was there for the rest of it.
It was in there. Yeah, I mean it happens, but I mean, John is going to be the eventual main focus, I think.
Which is fine. I just want to spend some.
I'm just happy that they're giving us 3, not 1, 3 Lanterns. You know, Guy Gardner, Hal Jordan, John Stewart, all going to get FaceTime. I could not ask for more. I'm being greedy. Like
we've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for this for so long.
This is insane. Like, I don't think people understand. Like, you've been upset over who's this and who's that, but like they're not giving us 1. They're giving us a core and 3 humans. Like that's insane.
Yeah, with room to grow. With room to grow.
Well, here we're gonna add 7. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh wait, I never put this comment up. This shit's hilarious.
Yeah, that one was funny.
Yeah, man. Yeah. The Fox X-Men universe is so fucked. It's not. That's why I don't keep track of that universe, because it's almost pointless. They don't care, so why should I care?
I mean, there you go. And they made a history of not really giving a fuck. All right, Trevon, I put up the next one. All right, so we got from Umberto just a subtle hint of him just tweeting out a photo of Slade Wilson. I then went to the group chat to tell Trevon and Joel that there's smoke to that fire, because I personally had heard that 2 of these names for Hal Jordan are being more so considered for Slade. And once Trevon converts it, I'll show you guys, just again with a grain of salt, what I was hearing. And it made all the sense in the world when you see who the 2 people are. You're kind of like, yeah, that maybe makes a little bit more sense than Hal Jordan. So then Joel asked the $1 million question. Joel, I will open it to you to ask the question you asked.
For what project?
Right. So then I started saying maybe they do Son of Batman. And then he's like, but you wouldn't introduce Slade before you cast Batman. And then I thought to myself, oh shit. The most obvious answer is the one thing going into production soon. Waller. Amanda Waller's show could easily have Slade Wilson. Very easily. And because Viola Davis is in it, we can't say it's a show. These guys wouldn't do the show. Why wouldn't they? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't they? It's not like James would be selling you on being just in a show the entire time. You'd obviously be in something bigger, interacting with other characters. So I immediately went, if it's Slade, I have to go Timothy, right? Just looking at the gray on the sides of this man right there. It's just like, from an eye patch, there you go. Call it a day, right? So, again, it doesn't have to be these 2. That's just what I was hearing. But, Didge, when you think about the idea of Slade possibly making his DCU debut in the near future, is there an actor that jumps off to you that you're like, that guy, that's the guy I would like?
No, not sure. Honestly, I probably would have picked Josh of the 2. Mm-hmm. But I think that's sort of typecasting now, just because I've already seen him do evil. Yeah. But either one of them I think would do great with it. I think you're right. Like, I can already picture the eye patch with already, like you said, having the gray right here. Mm-hmm. They're both phenomenal actors. So if this is where we're going, if these are our choices, I'm happy either way. Like I said, I do think I would pick Josh first. But also, that's also because I still already said Timothy for Hal. So
for Hal, right?
Kind of need that to still go.
My only issue with Josh is the height. That was my only issue. I think Timothy is not significantly taller, but a little taller. Yeah, he's taller.
6 foot. That's for sure.
How tall is Josh? I honestly don't know.
I think he's like.
I think Ryan is taller than Josh.
Oh,
wow. And I think Timothy is taller than Ryan.
Ryan is fucking tall.
Ryan is tall.
Josh Brolin's 5'10".
Okay. So not too short.
Timothy's 6 foot.
He's 6 foot. Yeah.
Okay, so not
by that much. Not by that much.
He looks taller than he actually is. That's what.
You know what it is? Josh Brolin looks shorter than he actually is. That might be what it is. Too.
No, he looks short next to Ryan, who's fucking tall.
That is true. That is true. Because you know what it is, Didge? When you see the poster for Deadpool 2, it's Cable leaning his head on, or Deadpool forcing Cable's head on his shoulder, I think, is one of the posters. Yeah. So it just shows the difference of height between the two, and you kind of go, oh, wow.
Well, yeah,
Ryan's maybe taller than that.
Ryan's 6'2", so that makes sense.
Yeah, there you go.
And there are times him and Hugh are standing next to each other, and Hugh looks smaller, even though they're the same height. It's like,
right.
Can't help it. He's just tall.
I will say this. This one for me was tricky, right? Because in a perfect world, this is what I would want. In a perfect world, I would want a course correction, right? Even though technically I think since Zach introduced this character really to the world, in my opinion, he's going to want to kind of keep it where it's at. I want Idris Elba out of what he was. And this is a chance to fix that, right? Whether it's Deadshot, whether it's Slade, just something else bigger than that character. And for me, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Wait, who?
Idris Elba.
He wants to recast him from Bloodsport to something more important.
But that's still in this universe.
That's what
we don't know what Zach is keeping of what we've seen already. I keep trying to say, I'm not sure.
James.
Again,
but that was his movie.
James, by the way, you said Zach.
James.
Oh, I'm sorry if I said Zach. I apologize.
But it's his movie, though.
I know, but remember,
everything that's his, he's keeping.
Trevon, remember when he made that movie, Deathstroke was already casted, and Will Smith was Deadshot. Right? There was no budging of Warner Brothers to remove those two actors from their said roles at the time. So there was only but so much James could do. Now that James has full control, he can do whatever he wants. I mean, think about it. We already have a different Rick Flag. So, like,
no, you don't. No, you don't.
Well, there you go. Yes. So
still, the one you had is still there, though. Like, that one's not gone.
Yeah,
you have senior. You have senior.
Right.
Now. You have his daddy.
But I'm assuming we won't see the other one, is what I'm saying. So you've already
that
kind of moved one out, moved one in. So I'm just saying, I do, but that's why I'm saying James can now play musical chairs if he wants. That's all I'm saying. You keep believing that anything James touched, he's going to keep.
Yeah.
I'm saying I don't know that until James tells me that. So until he tells me that Idris Elba is staying who he was, he could change anything. Like, James doesn't have to bring Will Smith back as Deadshot. Idris Elba could be Deadshot. That's originally what we heard he wanted to do. That was one of the first scripts.
Yeah, I'm not saying that anybody that was, but any movie he did not do, I don't expect them people to come back. But anything he did, he's keeping. That's
right.
my understanding.
I'm saying I think he will keep Idris Elba. I just don't think Idris Elba needs to be the same character. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Because for me, I'd always wrap my head around that. The moment they were talking about Idris Elba back in the day when James first got the job doing Suicide Squad, like, yes, Idris Elba definitely should be Slade Wilson. That would be so dope. And I remember we just spent like 1.5 to 2 years just not knowing who the fuck he was. And when they said it, I'm like, that's a movie. I'm like, what? Who is he playing? I don't know. What is that? Like, I don't know who that is. So
that was fucking hysterical.
Yeah, I was highly disappointed.
There were a lot of people were like, "Oh, he's vigilante," or "He's this," or "He's that," because apparently his seat would say vigilante.
Right. To throw people off, right. And so I'm saying that would be awesome to me. You go get someone like Idris Elba to be Slade Wilson. That'd be dope.
What the fuck? Why was that a secret?
Because I don't remember the last time Idris Elba's played a villain.
He did in the fuck Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The Black Superman.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I remember now. I sometimes forget that movie, but I remember now. Yes, but still. But you know who else would be a kick-ass Slade Wilson that no one's talking about? Fucking Keanu Reeves, bro. Would be an awesome Slade Wilson.
You're not doing that.
I don't know.
That would be so cool, bro. Keanu Reeves is Slade.
When was the last time you saw Keanu as a bad guy? That's the question.
Never. That's what. Well, technically, however you define Shadow, but that would be so much fun.
Maybe his version of Shadow changed my mind, but as of right now,
I just think that would be just so drastically different.
What's that?
Would you say, Trevon?
Can I have what was it? Is that Berserker that he got?
Oh, I would like that.
Yeah, Berserker.
That's the next. Like, if he do any physical thing next, it'll be that.
It's probably
Like,
Berserker,
You say that.
I ain't doing shit else.
You say that,
John Wick,
but
I'm doing.
I have to say, a certain company keeps pitching John Wick 5 every time we turn around.
He's doing that. But I'm saying,
You mean besides that?
Going to a new thing. You're not going to another new thing unless it's Berserker. That's what I feel like.
We'll see. I mean, Berserker will happen. So I don't think if he accepts this, it would change anything. He would just prioritize it. But, again, we'll see. Again, Trevon, that man does not have to keep doing the physical work. He chooses to. That's what stunt doubles are for. Like, he did. I keep trying to remind y'all, Pedro Pascal has not been the Mandalorian for like 4 years now.
That is true.
It's 2 other people. That man's been a voice. You know what I'm saying?
Answer your question about when last time you've seen Keanu as a villain, the only time I could think he was close to being a villain. Have y'all seen the romantic comedy movie Always Be My Maybe? He was her boyfriend. That was the closest I've seen him ever be to a villain.
That's hilarious.
He was a boyfriend to the it was Ali Wong's boyfriend.
Oh yes,
wanted to date her. So that's even then he was a nice shit.
Right, he was a nice bad guy. It was so weird.
It was so funny.
It was so weird, but he was kind of like undercover asshole.
That's the closest I've ever seen him be a villain.
Right, I forgot about that. Yes.
Well, that's something to look forward to, is to see if Keanu ever makes it to Marvel or DC, what he would go for. No, Trevon, you can put it back up. I want to get you and Joel's thoughts. Trevon, is there someone you would like to see play Slade, or would either one of these two interest you as Slade Wilson? Or do you want to get Joe Manganiello back? You want to get Joe Manganiello back?
Then I would do that. That's too good to be true for me.
Fan cast is nothing.
I don't know. I mean, I just want to see this character done. It would be cool to just see it. I've always liked Slade, but I feel like I'm gonna say every time I've seen Slade be played, I've liked it. So I want to see.
I personally have, yeah.
So every time I've seen it, So bring it on. I don't know who they would get, but it'd be fun. The character's always fun.
Where do we see Slade in the DCEU?
Where? We see him one post-credit scene.
Yeah. Oh, it was in the Justice League. The Justice League. I couldn't remember where, and it was killing me.
It was initially Ben Affleck posted a video of him popping up, but then at the end of Justice League, and then of course the Zack Snyder's Justice League, there's like a whole. Right.
Yeah. I get it. Those are forgettable.
No. It wasn't even like a negative thing for the Justice League one. I couldn't remember what movie it was, and it was killing me.
I get it.
No, I will always have love for that end credit scene because I thought it was Jesse Eisenberg's changing of the guard with his approach to Lex Luthor, and I thought that was one of the dopest reveals for Slade Wilson. Was when he took that. He looked so fucking accurate. He looked beautiful, and then he took the off, and I'm like, "That's Slade Wilson." We're so close, and then you're hearing the rumors of Batman's movie having Slade, and it's Ben Affleck versus Joe Manchin, and you're just like, yes. Then Ben's like, no, I'm out, and you're like, all right, well, in the world.
That would have been a beautiful movie.
Yeah, you almost had me say I'm with you. That would have been so much fun to see that movie of Slade versus
having
Batman.
them in interviews together. That would have been great.
That would have been fun. It's too bad.
That would have been fantastic. Oh, God.
Gracious. Anyway, could you guys picture if Trevon was the one asking questions?
No, I know exactly what it would be. I was reading this tweet. Mina Kimes was tweeting it earlier. She has a friend. Obviously, it's fantasy football season. Mm-hmm. She has a friend. He's gay. All he does his entire fantasy football lineup based off of who's hotter. She was
my God.
She was like She was like, he messaged her and was like, I got stuck with fucking Patrick Mahomes. I wanted Jimmy Garoppolo. She was like, never thought I would hear that.
What?
I will say you did. I can see Trevon saying some wild, flagrant shit. Like, I don't know how much you guys are on Twitter, but like, there's been, people putting Slade Wilson and Bruce Wayne together as like possible lovers. Like, What would you guys think about the possibility of that? And I could just see how uncomfortable the two of them would be sitting there, just like,
you don't understand. That's all my Twitter is all characters that you think are just they're just friends or whatever. Nah. Nah, none of that.
We will not get back into the idea of Trevon not respecting friendships. We'll move on. Oh wait, Trevon, you didn't say who. Do you have anyone specific?
No, I don't have a. I don't know.
Would either one of these two interest you?
In the movie.
So in my mind, so like when y'all are talking about like it's a stunt double, I have a hard time thinking. I don't know. For some reason, I'm like, can it? For me, I thought thinking, can they do the physicality of it? And that's what my.
I mean, both of them can.
They can do some of it. They don't need to do all of it.
No, you don't need to do any of it. If we're being honest, like, you don't need to do anything. I mean,
if you got the mask, if he got a mask on, so it don't matter. Whoever.
100%.
Again, you won't know who about it.
4 seasons of The Mandalorian. Again, that's not Pedro today. So 100%. You put that mask on, could be anyone. Now we'll know if Josh Brolin gets to be Slade. We'll know if that mask get on and he look a little taller. That's your stunt double, motherfucker. I noticed that height difference. I noticed it. Joel, your thoughts on why am I forgetting his name?
Them as him.
No, the one that put this tweet out about Slade Wilson. Umberto, thank you. Sorry, it's escaping my brain. Do you think there's smoke to his fire?
There's always smoke to his fire.
Because I haven't heard him in the scoop game in forever.
He went legit for a while back. Now I think he's still at the rap, but he kind of fell off. Well, he's not doing he's not the scoop guy like he used to be. But yeah, when he hears, I'm pretty sure he still hears stuff, and like when he drops something, he normally does. Especially when it's like Latino related, he likes to try to be the first one on it. So don't be surprised if he gets a lot of Batman updates because this guy's directing.
Batman's supposed to be Hispanic.
Yep. I have a name.
I don't know about that, but I know.
No, we know it.
The director is. So you never know. But what do I think about this possibility? I don't hate it. I mean, I do like Josh Brolin for, I think, probably just the fact that I could hear his voice come out of that mask. Like it's almost, that's what I imagine he sounds like, just like that. That's just, like it's almost exactly what I think comes out of it. Timothy, I like. I don't know if I see it as much as I see James Brolin. Or Josh Brolin. Sorry. Josh Brolin as that's true. If I had another person in mind, I did like Joe for like at the idea of Joe doing it for a long time. It was never a bad option for me. Keanu Reeves was a funny take.
It's a funny one, right?
Yeah.
I didn't like Joe Manganiello till that end credit scene. That's when it sold me. I was just like, that's Slade. I'm like, that's Slade right there.
Because he looked just like, he took the bat. He looked just like
100%. You know what it turned into? It turned into a passion project for him, right? He dove into the character. It wasn't just he was acting as Slade. It was like he became Slade. Everything about his mannerisms and everything, just in that few seconds, him walking off his boat onto the yacht, everything about him was just like, I'm sold.
I mean, Joe, it was funny because when they first casted him, when we first heard about him being casted, I'm like, he's too young for Slade. Now he's a perfect age. But
that worked. Yeah.
But at the time, like, he's a little too young. I don't know about that. But then he came out and dyed his hair. Like, he looked white. Like he was going to play older, probably. That's what he was going to do. I mean, they could just still do that now. But, like, it's unnecessary. Like you said, it's a full mask. You're going to have a stuntman under there. You don't have to be that fucking young anymore. Slade's old anyway. That's his character. He's basically a deadly super soldier.
Right.
Cap with swords. That's what he is.
And Timothy also, Joel, because whenever I picture Slade, this is the body type of Slade. Timothy is more slim, like this. So that's another reason why I'm like, Timothy, for me, fits this. Josh would be a little bit more muscular.
But the last time I saw Timothy, he was real thin. Because he was the Justified Revival.
The Revival,
He was real skinny in that. I'm like, we look skinnier than usual.
Yeah.
I
So for me, he fits the slim build.
John Bernthal.
John Bernthal.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be very interesting because his voice is just as brooding and terrifying as Brolin. Yeah. Yeah.
I
I actually like that a lot, Trevon. Yeah.
Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo would have been good if it wasn't.
Frank Grillo would have been perfect. Yeah.
If he wasn't already.
I can't wait to see what he does with Rick Flag because if I'm not blown away by his Rick Flag, I will then forever go. Your Slade was right there, bro. It's right there.
I mean, he would have been a good Slade. It's crazy.
I will say this though. Part of me is kind of okay with the idea that he now can't be Slade because when you start to think about it, Crossbones is kind of like Marvel's Slade, like to a degree. That's their mercenary. That's their hitman. Is Crossbones.
I'm about to say he never got nearly as popular.
No, not in the MCU. No, not in I just mean that's what that character is supposed to be. It's like more so the hitman, mercenary kind of guy, but
MCU have a similar job. Yeah, the works, but.
No, that'd be a lot of fun, Trevon. I like that. I would say the one that I would always dream of that would just shut the internet down, Ben Affleck.
That'd be wild.
Ben Affleck. Because think about it. He'd feel no pressure. Slade doesn't need to be in 800 movies. He would just go, perfect.
Well, I didn't bring him up because I just assumed that was no possibility.
It isn't. But you know who else would be fun? Because remember, they pitched this back in the day. I remember this. Remember back in the day when fans were trying to figure out what villains would be in Ben Affleck's movie? You guys remember who everyone kept fan casting is Hush, right? Matt Damon.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that.
Matt Damon is Slade Wilson would be awesome. I would love that, bro. I need to see Matt Damon in more action stuff.
He would never do it. He'll never do comic movies. I don't see it ever happen.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm just saying the two that would be like, what? Like, those would be kind of like that. I can't wait to see what James Gunn's big, shocking castings will be going forward, right?
I mean...
No, I mean like not the we heard there's casting calls and then that actually gets casted. I mean the Hall H, oh my God, we didn't see that coming kind of casting. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't wait to see what he does with stuff like that. That'd be like a lot of fun. You know what I think that would be for Trevon? Like 4 or 5 years down the line, right? When they talk about a new Shazam, and they're just like, and you can't have a Shazam without a Black Adam. And the lights go off, and then you hear, if you smell, and The Rock just comes out, right? Trevon, how crazy would you go, bro?
I'll never do that again.
How crazy would you? That wasn't the question. The question was, how crazy would you go?
I mean, I would go crazy for it, but that was, I keep saying, I'm very, let me see what James gonna do first.
Yeah,
I ain't seen shit yet.
Why you fuck with this man? Why you gotta
I haven't seen anything
it's your
yet.
fault. If he doesn't like guys, it's gonna be because of you fucking with him. That's what
It's all love, but it's not. I do kind of want to mess with you a little bit.
I want to see something. Give me a trailer.
You said
Show
what?
Me what you're working on in this new DC.
Wait till the Super Bowl.
That's too long.
No, we won't have to wait that long, Didge. We'll have a Superman trailer for the end of the year.
That's crazy.
You think so?
I mean, it make no sense. This movie comes out what? July? Yeah, you don't start.
Well, they had their trailer Super Bowl.
Well, no, remember a lot of their pushing off was to end last year was a lot of the strike.
Yeah, but I think it also worked in where they wanted to have it.
I think you were able to keep it closer, but I think if the strike hadn't happened, they would have given us a trailer before the end of that year.
I feel like those movies, you put in those trailers at big events. There's nothing super, super huge. Maybe New York Comic Con, but I feel like
that. But that's not usually Marvel's MO though. Like we just got a Captain America trailer just randomly. Like you know what I'm saying? It's usually just randomly. It's not where they save it.
I feel like for their summer block, for their big summer ones, it always was tied around something big.
You know what? It's hard to argue with you because it's been 50-50 because Multiverse of Madness was a Super Bowl trailer. It was. I won't lie to you. But a lot of their movies, they don't – because remember, Infinity War was like September, October. Their first trailer came out.
Fair.
So, because remember, they aired it at San Diego Comic-Con for fans, and then we had to wait like a couple of months, and then they dropped it for us. Because remember, we got one trailer that was just broad strokes. Then the second trailer opened with Gamora talking about him snapping his fingers. Because I remember when I heard that, I replayed just that opening 800 times. Because in my mind, I could have never imagined they would end that movie snapping away half the universe and the heroes. So, it's a mixage. I think it's a mix. It's very much a mix. So who knows?
Fair. I assumed Super Bowl, but I could also. It's also tough because Marvel does theirs a lot around sports because they have Disney and they have ABC and ESPN.
Yep. Right.
So like they love to tie in a sports tie-in to all of their stuff because so yeah, it could just be random.
I think it should be random. I think it should be before the end of this year. I mainly say that, Didge, because before the end of this year, I better hear about movement on Batman. We should have more information on Waller. We should have a Peacemaker trailer, and we should have a Superman trailer. That should be coupled before the end of this year. I'd consider it completely wild if it did. Completely. At least 2 out of those 3. So we'll see. But we did get a little bit of information about the oh, wait, nope, I sent that to the wrong person. Wow. Sent that photo of Batman to the wrong person. She's definitely gonna be like, why'd you send me just a random picture of Batman? There you go, Trevon. Sorry. So Matt Reeves was talking a little bit about the sequel of Batman, where he said, just move this. Actually, I just keep that. Where he said he wants to keep the point of view of the Batman for Batman's emotional arc in the next Batman Batverse movies. Shut up, Trevon. It's never happening. Just because you want me to do it, it will never happen. Matt Reeves says, and I quote, a lot of times what happens is you establish the Batman in the first movie, and then the next movie is the Riddler's movie or the Joker's movie, and the Rogues Gallery takes center stage. I wanted to find a way to keep Batman as the central arc of the movies.
Hurry
yes.
up.
Amen. Preach. It's one of my biggest issues with The Dark Knight is that I don't know many, if anyone, that left that movie going, damn, Batman was awesome. Everyone kind of is unanimously just like, that was Joker's movie for sure. I mean, man became the main character after a while, it felt like. So you just had too many characters that you started prioritizing narratively, right? Like, for a moment where that movie looked like it hit its middle arc, started to seem like I was in a Harvey Dent arc for like a while, right? And then it kicked right back to Joker. So to me, I like understanding that as long as your title has Batman in it, that should be your focus throughout the entire movie. Not some of it, all of it. So I'm okay with that mindset. Didge, what are your thoughts on his comments?
I think I'm just like, hurry up. I get so tired of seeing the details because it's just like, all you're doing is reminding me that this movie ain't even started filming. So it's just like, let that be the next detail update that you give me. Is just, oh yeah, we started filming.
That'd be lovely. That'd be so lovely, man. It's so crazy to know I'm living in a world where there's 2 concurrent Batman stories, and I've not really heard much about either one of those. Fucking
you know what? I take it back. That'd be the other update I would kind of be happy about because I know it's a long shot, but I would love it if they were just like, you know what, fine, fuck it, it's in the DCU. I'm still not on board fully with a 2 Batman story situation.
I'm only okay with it because I don't see Matt Reeves making more than 3 of these movies, right? And if the 3rd movie takes anywhere near as long as the 2nd one is, right, it'll have expanded itself a very long time.
But then you got to worry about villains being taken from one for the other, and it's just, I don't want that.
I will say the one thing that definitely isolates that is that if you're Matt Reeves, you can focus on a lot of what we've already seen and allow James to go more fantastical, right? James can do the Clayface and stuff like that, reimagine Bane and stuff like that. So I'm like, luckily, Batman has a rogue gallery.
Right? True.
So he has an extensive rogue gallery. And think about it. We've not entered into Why am I forgetting their name? What's the group with Talon?
Court of Owls.
Talon. Yeah, Court of Owls. We've not done Hush.
Yeah.
Like, there's plenty of characters we've not done that I don't know if Matt Reeves is doing or not. So there's plenty of room to still play around for both sides. And I'd be okay if Matt Reeves replayed all the villains we've already seen because it's a universe that doesn't matter. It's James that has the pressure of not focusing on villains we've already had. James's goal now is to give us the ones we haven't seen or haven't seen done properly.
I feel like the ones you just said, though, Hush and Court of Owls, that feels like more the Batman type of thing.
Oh, 100%. But I'm saying until we get confirmation that that's what he's doing, they haven't been used yet.
I heard that
either side could use them.
I was gonna say I heard two was. I don't know if it was going specifically with Court of Owls, if they were leading into it, but that's what I heard. I don't know how true it is.
That would fit so well.
I mean, that's how that movie ended.
Yeah.
I mean, he even said Hush in the movie. So it's like.
If you read his most recent comments, it sounds like it's going towards Court of Owls.
Yeah, it's saying it's getting deeper into crime that essentially hits more home to Bruce than even the first one did.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yes, that's Court of the Owls.
Super corrupt, like that, and that doesn't get much more corrupt than
Court of the Owls, 100%. So I agree with you, Trevon. No one here can disagree with what you said. I'm just saying until it happens, it's still unpainted canvas. You know what I'm saying?
It's still easier though, because like this Batman, this Batman is more grounded, so he's going to probably lean towards characters that are more grounded and more grounded criminals and like that. The Batman will probably get in the DCU will probably be a Batman that's older, has dealt with a lot of them bitches already, and that you can lean towards the fantastical because Matt Reeves doesn't want to do that, so you can go and have a more like accurate Clayface or Bane, where you couldn't do that.
Poison Ivy.
All those characters that have actual powers or abilities, or Mr. Freeze, like characters that actually he has to deal with that are not just gangsters.
Right. There's no detective work involved. Yeah. It's more so.
You can stop.
No. He would be a detective, but I'm saying it's less. My focus is on being a detective because it's more so. There's a trail of ice from the bank all the way to the warehouse down the street. I don't need to be a detective to know that's Mr. Freeze, right? It's more the fantastical element of him fighting Mr. Freeze, and how does that look? How does he win? Like, how does he? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that go? They could do Firefly, since obviously they couldn't do it with Batgirl. Also, Didge, don't forget, even though the character's already been used with James Gunn's Batman, you could do Under the Red Hood.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you could do more stories like that,
Really, to the Bat family that exists,
Yeah. So I'm like, you're all right, Juwaan. It does make it easier, but I'm saying it does put the pressure more creatively on James Gunn and that team over there, as opposed to Matt Reeves. These stories can be very simplistic, right? Like you don't really have to try too hard. It's very simplistic.
I think it's to me. I feel like it's easy to separate the two based on you can have them look different, deal with different problems, and that neither one can look the same.
Right.
Because they're just Batman at different points in their lives, and they're dealing with different things a different way.
And Didge, the biggest difference we will see between the two Batmen, of course you could do it, but I don't know if it works in this world James Gunn is building. James Gunn's Batman will have all the color we're used to seeing in a Batman suit. I do not believe Matt Reeves is putting an ounce of fucking color in any of these Batman suits going forward. I really don't.
It's going to be for sure. It's going to for sure stay dark for him.
It will definitely be more so of the Nolanverse for his suits, for sure. I do not see a yellow emblem ever breathing a day in Matt Reeves' head, ever. James Gunn will give us all of that. Blue cape, right? Like the yellow belt. We can get all that cool shit over with James. Matt is sitting there just like, no, you know what you guys all disliked with the Nolanverse, all the black on black on black? I'm going to do it too. I like that. So I'm going to do that too. So again, that's why I'm okay with separating the two.
That's fair.
Because they're just going to, be different, drastically different.
You're going to get Tower of Babel Batman.
Right, yes, that's crazy. So I think we all can agree. Matt Reeves' comments sound great, awesome. Film the fucking movie so we can get a better idea on what we're looking for. Okay, is there a Robin? Is it Court of the Owls? Is it Hush? What's happening here?
Right.
We need
it all of that?
Right. Is it all of it? We need to know. All right. So last thing we'll do here before we get out of here. Me and Joel just saw The Crow.
I'm sorry.
You saw it?
No, I'm not going to. My cousin told me he fell asleep 5 minutes in.
I really wish you didn't say that. I definitely fell asleep at some point in that movie. I was going to lead off with saying the movie is not bad. I think the problem they had was they went to theory instead of going more where it should have, which was the action, because that was easily the best part of that movie.
That's also what he was saying.
I kind of wish they just circled in a little bit more there. Hold on real quick before we go deep into that. Shout out to Jamie. Of course, we need it. We definitely need it. We do. Mm-hmm. Now, I will say the one thing that does bother me, Jamie, is that we'll probably get Court of the Owls from Matt Reeves and not James Gunn, which bothers me because I would have loved to have seen a more accurate run of Court of the Owls where you can involve Dick Grayson and everything. That would have been so much fun. But, beggars can't be choosers. So,
also fair.
That's where that is. Yeah, I didn't hate The Crow. Like, I didn't, after the movie was over, go, this was a waste. But I did say this movie just cinched the fact that we'll never see Crow again in our lifetimes. It killed it. Like, if it took this long just to get this movie's reaction will definitely cause us to wait another forever to get another one. So I think maybe where someone should go with The Crow is just making it a series.
There are 5 Crow movies?
Yeah, we found that out recently.
Right, I was in the comments that time.
You were. Yes. Yeah, had no idea there was that many.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I think The Crow might be better off maybe Amazon picking it up, allowing it to be as dark and gritty as it can be, getting a no-name actor to kind of, breathe new life into it, and kind of just sticking to what works with The Crow, I also didn't love the idea that you casted someone as pale as you did, because then you felt no need to paint them. Like, it took the aesthetic away of the character.
Look, they were like, we saving a makeup budget. We ain't got to pay for that.
Which is crazy. That is just some white face paint that you wipe it on that man's face. That is not no whole cosmetology job or whatever the fuck. That's crazy. I will say this, DJV. That is a very sad statement if true. Oh, wait. Shit, I just took it down. My bad. That's a very sad statement if true. Because, albeit I didn't hate this movie, it was not the best. So if this was the second best out of the whole 5, God bless America. Joel, what were your thoughts on this movie, man? Do you agree with Didge that you're sorry that we had to see it?
Well, as I mentioned earlier when I mentioned I saw it, it was boring. Very boring.
He put the sleep emoji.
Yeah, I did. I put the sleep emoji.
We took turns going to sleep. I won't even lie to you. We took shifts.
It was a bitch because it was like, it wasn't like he said, it wasn't bad necessarily. It just was not an entertaining movie. You know what I mean? Like, it was dark. They kind of whispered a lot.
It did.
And there was nothing happening for so long. It's just like a lot of talking. It was very dreary, and then it was raining. So I was like, that's how I go to sleep most of the time. So it's like, so why are you trying to put me to sleep? It's like lullaby. It's like crazy. Now, when it got to the action, it was nasty shit. There were some good action scenes.
Okay.
It was gory. It got violent. And he looked cool. He really looked cool. He really did.
It could have been Friday at night. The way those sales is going, you still might have been the only one there.
It was crazy.
You know what? I can't lie to you. We saw it on Monday. It was only our group there, maybe 4 people behind us. So, I mean, it was so empty. We got seats lower and then had the freedom to move wherever the fuck we wanted to.
No, that's what we did. We just moved up. I mean, it's whatever. But so it wasn't the best time. I mean, mainly because it was just so fucking boring. But aside from that, it was fun. All 15 minutes of it.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I was looking at the box office numbers for it earlier. Coraline outsold it, and this is Coraline's third week of its re-release.
That's wild.
I actually just someone I'm talking to, I had her yelling at me because I never seen Coraline. So
you should go see it.
It's a good movie, right? Maybe. I heard it was just an animated version of The Crow. That's why it's beating The Crow. People are like, I've already seen this in animation. I'm good. But I will say The Crow did remind me, because I know it sounded like you were about to say how could it be boring, but like it was fun. You know what it reminds me of? And this is no shade at all, but I honestly compared it to my experience with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I thought the script was very boring, but the action scenes were so good. That first action scene of Falcon taking down the helicopter, that was amazing.
You know,
right?
That makes sense.
I had so much fun with it.
Yeah,
but the story, if you stripped away the action and just gave me that story, I'm not watching past episode 2. That story was very blah.
I get what you guys mean. Because I was going to say, I know even when Joel was talking about it earlier, he was saying that like the action was great, but it just wasn't enough of it. And it's right. So I get what you mean.
He doesn't become the Crow till like halfweay through the movie.
By the time he's the Crow, we're waking up and we're just
I was gonna say,
okay,
you had a good nap.
Yeah, we're like, oh, okay, all right, now I can stay up. There we go.
An hour of this. It's almost 2 hours. I thought it would be shorter, an hour and a half or whatever. No, it was 2 hours,
and we felt every ounce of it. Yeah, to this day, Jamie, we hear the flag smasher. Trevon, you didn't see this, right? No. Did you have any interest at any point of seeing this?
I need to see this and Borderlands.
Okay, so you just want to catch up.
That's a hell of a double feature.
That's a very unfortunate.
Borderlands won't put you to sleep at all. The Crow definitely will. The Crow definitely will.
So I'll do the Crow first then.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
I told you, Trevon, I got a free ticket. So I got a free ticket to Borderlands, and I was still mad.
I didn't like the infight with the Crow and the villain. They kind of just 100%. Yes, that was like the most boring fight.
How do you yada yada a fight?
Bro, that's what they did. It was yada yada, villain gone. It was just like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. You mentioned that. I'm like, did I sleep through that? Because I don't remember any of that.
I remember it vividly because I remember when they jumped out of the window, landed in the little puddle that made them, and you're kind of just like, oh, okay, we're about to see like this dope ass fight. They talk, and then you blink, and it's like
when they introduced the villain, I thought that was interesting. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I like that. I like the way they introduced him. I like what he could do. I'm like, flesh this out. None of that. There was just a lot of mystery.
That's so crazy to me.
Yeah, but it was what it was. So on top of that, we also saw, what else did we see, Joel? We also saw, we saw Afraid, the thriller movie about the AI that kind of takes over. That was a lot of fun, man. And you know what? I'm going to start this campaign because I'm getting tired of it. Mr. John needs to start getting the respect he deserves. Awesome. That man has been on, in my opinion only, a hot streak. And I feel like it's not being talked about enough. I appreciate John. I enjoyed Afraid. It was very well done, very smart. I immediately went home and unplugged all my technology. So I needed a break because I couldn't sleep.
Man. His movies are good. His TV shows fall flat, unfortunately, because I did like The Exorcist that he was on.
I did too.
That was a good series.
I enjoyed Cowboy Bebop.
I did too. I know a lot of people didn't, but I also I enjoyed his version. I liked his.
And Joel, I liked. What was that franchise that we saw? that girl and Naomi Long take over, but he did the first one. Remember, it was about someone gets kidnapped.
Those are both good. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but he did the first one.
Yeah,
I thought that was Oscar worthy what he did in the first one. I thought it was great, man. Doesn't get talked about enough. Doesn't get talked about.
Are actually very good.
I agree. What do you mean, Jamie? That you thought Cowboy Bebop was bad and you want someone to do it better, or
that
you want
exactly
them to continue?
What she means.
Oh, that's what she means. Okay. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad.
I didn't enjoy it.
I personally did not have a connection with the show. The anime. So for me, it was just like I thought the live action brought more joy to me than the anime did. So I very much.
I'm not going that far, but
again, I just said in my opinion, I'm not trashing the anime at all. I'm just saying for me, the live action did it for me more so than the anime.
That's my exit, y'all.
That's all. Again, I did not say anything bad about the anime whatsoever.
I know.
It's just for me, it did more for me. Jamie, if you didn't like me saying that, you won't like my thoughts on what's the one, Joel, that you constantly hate me about? Because I prefer the live action anime over the actual one. What's the one where he's writing the names in the book?
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh, I'm out. Where is my camera? Get me out of here.
Death Note for sure. But no, so Joel, did you enjoy Afraid?
I really did. Yeah, Afraid was good. Afraid was entertaining. Mm-hmm. And that's nothing could be worse than a boring movie.
Boring thriller would be.
That's
crazy.
why, unfortunately, The Crow was one of them. But that's why I didn't have fun with The Crow, and that's why I didn't have fun with Madam Web, because they were fucking boring. They were just boring movies.
You could have accepted Madam Web being boring if it did cooler shit.
Yeah,
that was more so your issue.
I was expecting a lot more, and it didn't do any of that. It just gave you not even a minute of some of those girls in costume. It was like, what the fuck? Why are we doing this? That was sad, but yeah, like that's why. Like, if a movie's boring, it will lose me. And for me, boring is not like I saw Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer's all talk, but it's so good. It's so well acted.
Oppenheimer's like of the
I don't care if there's talking if the talking is good. Like, it's interesting. You know what I mean? It has to be good dialogue too.
But it also has a fit thematically, right? Yeah, when you think Oppenheimer, you're not thinking it's martial arts trying to get a hold of the bomb, right? Yeah. So you assume it's just story, right? Mm-hmm. But when you hear The Crow, you don't go, they talked for 2 hours. Right? Because it's an action and a half. Right? So it's like, that's where the problem comes in. And I don't want to ignore these comments. Hold on, before we go any further. Jamie is not happy with my take on anime adaptation. DJV also is not. Didge also never wants to come back. And Jamie thinks that's hilarious. This is what I'm surrounded with. I'm bullied constantly for my opinions. But to kick it to you, Trevon, Didge, I'm not sure if you did, because I know you've been extremely busy, but I know me and Trevon saw Blink twice.
No, I'm going to see that this weekend. I'm going to see
I figured you didn't want to talk about it. I thought you wanted.
No. We're going to talk about it. We're just not going to spoil anything. We're just going to give our overview.
Same thing. It'll be on streaming soon enough.
No, don't do that, because we want what's her name to do well with this movie.
I just don't know when I'll have time.
Oh, no. Oh, you mean when you'll get to see it? Okay, gotcha. No. I thought you meant because like it's bad. I'm like, no, we want to.
No, but stuff just hit streaming way too quickly. Like Afraid, there's already I had to pick one of 2 showtimes that they already had in the theater by me.
I can be honest with you, guys. It's not because these movies are bad. It's because these movies picked the worst time ever. Deadpool and Wolverine is still in theaters.
That's fair.
Alien just made a shit ton of money. So that means you had 2 Colossus giants.
Beetlejuice comes out tomorrow.
Exactly. So you're suffocated in. So of course you're not gonna have it. Yes, Beetlejuice is this week.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice is this week.
I might not be seeing Afraid this week.
Yeah, and the James McAvoy movie is next week.
Yeah, I know that's next week. I already got tickets for that one.
So, but for me, I really enjoyed Blink twice. I thought Zoe Kravitz did an amazing job telling that story and directing that movie. It visually, I thought, was great. I will say, I was on a date for that movie, and the way that movie went, my date went from us all snuggled up to her giving me the side eye because of that movie. When you see it, you'll see why. That was a very awkward car ride home for sure. But I thought this was Channing's opportunity to showcase his range, and I thought he knocked it out of the park. I thought he was amazing. I thought this is very well casted, by the way. There's some faces in there that you see that you're just like, oh shit, okay, they got some OGs in here. I thought they just did a phenomenal job. Bravo to Zoe Kravitz, that entire team. I hope for whatever money it may not have made in the box office, it makes in digital sales. I really do hope so. I'll be buying the digital sale to support for sure. I'll never watch it again, but to support, I will definitely.
That is correct. I will never watch it again.
I'll never watch that movie again. And again, has nothing to do with
the quality.
Once you see what the movie's about, you'll never want to watch it again either. But Trevon, anything you want to add on this?
Channing has great range. That's what you said. Without me spoiling it, it's not like, I don't know. It's a interesting directorial debut for Zoe Kravitz. I don't know. I can't. It's.
I will also say
something.
I will also say, thank Jesus himself, this movie did not keep the title it originally wanted, because that would have made it even worse.
What was the original title?
It was originally going to be called Pussy Island.
Yeah, that'd have been crazy.
And when you see what this movie turns into, you'll go, there's no way in hell you could have called this movie that. There's no way. No way. You'll get why she wanted to call it that, but there's no way you could have sold this movie if she actually did. Is it that fucked up to never? Yes.
You look once you see it.
Once you see it, you'll know. You'll know. You'll know because it'll shake you. It'll shake you for sure. All right. So just really quickly before we get out of here, I do want to say I have binged all of Chaos with Jeff Goldblum. That is not only the gayest show. But it is so beautiful. I was
to ask you that.
It is very gay.
Now, hold on.
It's called Chaos with Jeff Goldblum. It's about gods, but of modern day. So Jeff Goldblum plays Zeus. And do you remember Joel on the Ozark? Remember the lady that came in killing everyone? Lady with blonde hair. She was like the money person.
Yes.
She plays Zeus's wife in this.
Oh.
It's so beautiful. It's about love. It's about all these different walks of life that come together. It was the first time I found out there was an actual person in the mythology of the gods named Prometheus. Swear to God, I thought Alien created that name. Really? I had no idea. When they said Prometheus, I'm like, Alien is getting the respect it deserves. And then the more they talked about it, I was just like, oh. No, Alien stole it. Got you. Okay, got you. No problem. But it is so beautifully done, and the ending leaves me just. If they don't renew this show, I don't give a fuck about the final season of Stranger Things. I'm good off Netflix. I don't give a fuck. They not giving me Old Guard Part 2. Fuck them. Because this show was beautiful, very beautiful. But go ahead, Trevon. You had a question.
Well, hold on for a second. Jamie, hold on. I'm going to answer it right quick. She was like, trauma. Yeah, so this they put out a disclaimer that says trigger warning before this movie.
Yes, right before the movie starts. Trigger warning.
And I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
My girl looked over at me and said, what do you have me watching? And I said, hold on now. I don't even know what the fuck we about to see. So I'm like, this shocked me too. I'm like, well, wait a minute, hold on. What's about to be in this shit?
I couldn't believe you did that because I told you it was dark. And I was like,
Trevon, Batman is dark. You got to give me more context.
You know what I said. I said what I said about Channing. I was like, now you know. Why would I say that?
I'm just saying. Next time, you know to be more clear to me. Personally, be more clear to me.
But you said it's gay.
Mm-hmm.
See, I gotta clarify what that means. Is it my kind? Or
if you are expecting this to be some gay sex scenes, no. Okay. But if you're expecting this to be a lot more gay characters than you think, yes.
I mean,
are there two men, not just two women? That's what I want to know.
There are two men. There's not lesbian stuff going on.
All right, now I got. I'm good now. Okay, that's it.
I was going to elaborate, but cool.
No,
so just know when you watch it, you didn't give me a chance to elaborate. So no, we're going to leave it there. Okay, got you. But it's very well done. 8 episodes. I'm good. 8 episodes. Please go watch it. Please do.
I will.
It is so good. The story is it's about love is really what it's about. It's about Zeus's arrogance and it's about love. And it's the battle essentially between humans and the gods. But essentially the humans are unwilling pawns. They don't really know that they're part of it. You said what did?
Not violently hetero. I'm good.
Violently hetero is crazy. Why are they? Why is violently the adjective we use in here?
Not with because when we created this term a few weeks ago.
No. Because in the real world, there's a mix of everyone, and it seems like a lot of this stuff try to make sure to keep the gay shit out of it.
Yes, but you can say it's an obsessive amount of hetero. Violent makes it sound really left.
Violent makes it sound like you taking it, and that's where things get kind of
I feel like I'm being forced. Yeah, so I'm violently hetero.
You are not being forced. You have the option to not watch any of this shit, Trevon. Violently hetero is wild. I do need to remove that term from you and Jamie's vocabulary. It's crazy. But please do definitely go watch this show. It is so well done. Bravo to that team. I also want to let you guys know I did. Remember, I told you, Joel, I was looking for a horror show.
Yeah.
Is it The Frog?
No. I watch all of them.
Oh, that was good.
Right?
Yes. Look, I'm gonna just reiterate this. A couple of days, I couldn't see anyone that was not black. I just couldn't. I couldn't. After watching season 1, I couldn't. If you walked up to me, violence was definitely in my MO. So I had to take a break.
Them is good.
I had to take a deep break. I also watched the newer season. It's really good, Trevon. You definitely should. I also watched the newer season. Newer season definitely left me believing there won't be a third. But it was
newer season.
It was nice how they tied everything together. So bravo to them.
I didn't think they were. So when
I didn't either. But I'm like, wait a minute. These two people look the same. So like, how are you gonna go about this? So I appreciate what they did. And last thing, I don't know if you guys are caught up. So this isn't a spoiler review. We can wait till next week. But Amazon, I just want to let you know this from the bottom of my heart. You're losing me. If this is what you want to give me for the first 3 episodes of The Rings, you're fucking losing me, dog.
Wait, really?
Me. Yeah.
So I didn't like the first season, and my cousin was like, yo, the second season started off so much better.
I can tell you this. The story's picking up, but the problem is you ended the season on a whole bunch of talking. Your first 3 episodes is nothing but more talking. You keep
nigga lied to me. Hold up, now I gotta text him
because you keep setting the table for this big bad, and it's like just get to the big bad.
You saw they were going to the end of the first season and what they got to, and then when they start this one, they still stretch that shit out.
100%.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this season could have been 4 episodes.
I will.
But they're stretching this fucking thing.
For me, I've only seen the first 2 episodes. I've enjoyed the first 2 episodes. Like the story it's been better than at least the last. To me, it's been more interesting than the last season so far. It's been more intriguing. I actually understand and know more of the characters. I feel like now, whereas I didn't before, where it was like there's a lot of shit being said and talked about. And I have no idea what the fuck's going on. Where now, the story makes more sense, and even though it goes back and forth sometimes, I still can kind of keep it.
Yeah, it makes sense. But I'm like, I'm in the first episode. I was like,
and there's people I recognize, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. Oh, that's cool.
You know what it is? I'm going to tell you this, and this is somewhat of my bias, so I'm going to acknowledge that. But I told you my beef with the Lord of the Rings movies were it was too much fucking talking for a fantasy movie. I thought I was going to get nothing but magic, fighting, all kinds of really cool. And it has it. Don't get me wrong. 2 Towers definitely has it. But it's more dialogue than fighting. And then I get to the show, and I'm like, it's the same fucking thing. It's walking, talking, no fighting. Walking, talking. Yeah, it's just like, bro, get me to the fighting, dog. Like, that's what I'm here for, man. So that's just me personally.
Called Rings of Power. I feel like I've gotten
no power.
You're getting
maybe 5% of the name of the show. That's what I'm.
A lot of what we're saying is satire. So we're not blind to the fact that it is. Story
it's probably
building.
Satire for you. Trayvon's 100% fact.
It's satire. I get that it's story building. It's just the problem of the other movies were the same thing. I thought you'd be a little bit differently.
I don't know.
I would like to see some more power. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And honestly, these first episodes we got still ain't. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Come on, what did they do?
Yeah,
what happens?
I'm saying this right now. Right now, it's the equivalent of me watching Power Rangers and them having a morpher but never morphing. These motherfuckers got rings, ain't using them. Use them shits. I don't care if you use it just to make the day to night to day, make the water move around a little bit. Do some shit.
I don't know. I don't even know I don't know what they do because I've never seen them do anything. Like so, like
they did one thing.
Remember, in the original movie, it made them invisible. Remember, that's what it made them invisible.
That was the main ring, though, wasn't it?
That was the only ring we saw in the original movies. Yeah, there was only one ring. Yeah. These other extra. I went to Jared's ass rings that they wearing. We don't know what the fuck they do.
I ain't gonna hold you. That was when I was a kid. That was also what turned me off to the movie. Also, because it was called Lord of the Rings, and we only saw one ring. I was like, "What the fuck is the rings?" I was mad. So,
but now they're showing us the rings that they're talking about.
Like, I will tell you, Dij, it's scattered. It seems like everyone has some form of a ring. And I'm telling you, this shit's feeling real Captain Planet-ish. Like, at some point,
the trying to tell me about it, and I was like, fam, you doing a lot of explaining. We at Labor Day barbecue. I don't care about that.
No, one of the rings legit looks like a engagement ring, yo, for real.
100%. I don't know what these designs are, man. This shit's crazy. I do love how the movie did it. Did it like just a regular ring. Yeah, these shit's got diamonds, rubies, and shit. It's crazy.
I mean,
no, the one from the movie is like a wedding band.
I'm for sure making sure my ring is fire. If it's like I want a good design to my ring too.
I am putting no cosmetics into my ring. The ring itself has power. I don't need to showcase it, make it look pretty. The fuck. But hopefully it does pick up soon. Because I want to love this show. I did not dislike the first season, but I only accepted it because I expected the second season to turn all the way the fuck up. And since it's not, I'm a little hesitant.
You know one thing I'll be annoyed with? The way they've used the ring so far, I don't want to the way they've been used. If that's all they do, I'm mad as fuck. I
will tell you, Trevon, this show has a lot of responsibility because unless you read the book, as Joel stated, we weren't really told what that ring does, and that was the only ring in all of the lands.
Like I said, I don't remember them doing anything. I don't know what they mean by rings of power. I've never did because they're not Planeteer rings. They don't fucking
right, exactly, right.
They're not. They're just not.
Right. That's the problem. Like, what is the
how many rings are there?
So many. Too damn many.
There's like what they just announced? I think there's like 4 or 5. 4 or 5.
Yeah, but about to give like
the dwarves get.
Yeah, they're getting like 7, and then they're giving some more. And I was like, what the fuck? How many rings is
Yeah, they went full Oprah. You get a ring, and you get a ring, and you get a ring. It's like, to do what?
Like, human lords get this, and the dwarves get this. And
it's 3 sets of rings. And I was like, okay. What?
Yeah, I can definitely tell you right now, Amazon, you got me with these first 3 episodes. Patiently waiting for your video game show. Like, I'm waiting for the next thing because this is really starting to lose.
You need to show me what you spend his money on, like
for damn sure. Because in the first season, I will say it had a lot of beautiful moments for sure.
I was gonna say the production is not
beautiful, but
100%. But let's be honest, guys. Trevon only didn't like these first 3 episodes because his daddy elf is not there yet. He's waiting for his daddy elf to pop up and he'll be fine. He was in the 3rd episode?
Sure was.
I don't remember the 3rd episode at all.
What?
Right here. How you saying that? I don't fuck. Beautiful. That's all I know. He's there. I see him.
Said, I don't care about the name, just beauty.
He's beautiful. That's all I know.
Yeah, he's beautiful. I don't give a fuck. All right. Well, I want to thank Dij for joining us for this episode. Dij, we appreciate you, man. You was going through a whole move and everything, but took the time out to join us. We appreciate you, man.
After your live action anime takes, hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll never be back.
We just won't talk anime. I know that's off limits now. It's okay. It's okay. Politics, religion, anime. Got you. No more.
This was fun. Thank you guys for having me. This is a great time.
Absolutely,
Always
Didge.
have
Let
fun.
them know where they can find you, man.
You can find me at Didge_DEE at all places, and also over there on the Geek Set podcast. We got some stuff coming up, both on my personal channel and on the Geek Set page. You know, as I finish unpacking and getting my life back together.
So he's trying to tell you, DJV, the wine will be brought back next time he's here. It'll be brought back. All right. Jarvis will have unloaded all of his boxes by that point. So we'll be good. We'll be good. Joel, I'm going to ask you the same way Prime did. Joel, even though you do a show with Juwaan, let everyone know where they can find you.
Well, you know where you can find me. I'm pretty sure if you're watching. But Joel_J27 on Instagram and Twitter.
You know what's so funny about Joel's name here? Someone else did that, and you've just kept it ever since.
I'm good.
I'm starting to remember that. Like, someone else changed your name like that, and then you just kept it ever since.
I changed it so people can.
Oh, it was you? Oh, I could have sworn when we were doing the funny name changes for everyone, someone changed yours, and then you were just like, oh, well, if it gets you to say Joel, all right.
I think it just makes it easier. People are like, oh, that's how it's pronounced. Yes, it is.
Yes, I will say Didge did say when he was unloading, it was kind of like, when he was moving, it was kind of like the scene from Homecoming where Happy was loading up the plane. That's how much stuff Didge had. So, you know, he had workers, you know, loading up the stuff. Didge said he didn't even move. He was on the phone the whole time, just like Happy Hogan.
Oh, no, I moved some stuff. I did hire movers. I ain't gonna hold you. I definitely did.
That's right.
I don't blame him.
Look at that. Trevon, let them know where they can find you in your defense of a certain person coming up soon.
That's so funny. I'm gonna stand up beside my man. But anyway,
for $10.
You're so funny. But anyway, on the Rings of Power, I'm gonna go back to that right quick. The one that was talking to a run. How you say?
Aurelia?
How you say?
Aurelia?
I don't know. The beautiful elf in the show. You'll know if you see him. Smack the guy that is smack that kid that keep talking to him crazy in these 2 episodes. Like, bro, it's not his fault. Okay, that your mama dead. All right. Anyway.
If I remember it correctly, it kind of was, but okay.
I mean, she did what she wanted to do. Shit, it's not his fault.
She's a grown ass woman.
Right. So smack him. Talking to him crazy. But anyway, you can find me Nerd with the Tech everywhere. I think like TikTok is underscore behind it. I haven't found the person yet. But anyway, yeah. But that's it.
All right, and we appreciate you guys. Just last 2 comments. Yes, that is a very wild title, but luckily it was not given that.
It's a very accurate one too. Once you see it,
it is. I ain't gonna see this movie. You definitely should, but it's definitely not something you will ever go, I'm gonna watch this. No, but definitely see it once. We got to support Zoe Kravitz. She did a phenomenal job. Shout out to her. But all right, thank you guys so much, and until next week. By next week, we'll be able to do a Beetlejuice review. That's really all that comes out. Because we got to wait another week for Agatha and Penguin. So we'll be ready for Agatha and Penguin.
Well, I absolutely be ready for Agatha.
That's next week.
All right. Well, we can't be ready? That man isolated.
I feel like I'm being the most positive about it. So
we have nothing to be negative about.
No, I'm looking forward to it. It's my wallpaper right now.
It is not mine.
Look at it, Trevon.
Mine is still Weapon X. So sorry. No, Weapon X. Yeah. Omega Red, Sabretooth, Wolverine. The team of Weapon X. Excuse me. Yes, we do love Zoe Kravitz, so shout out to her.
You know what mine is? To be funny, look, this. I think y'all like it. Look at this. It's Nightwing smacking the hell out of Batman.
This is why.
It's Batman.
I don't know why. All
right, so we might do a roster swap. Didge might be replacing Trevon going forward. Yeah, I think we might go with that. Yeah, so you guys hope you enjoyed Trevon. Yeah, I agree, DJV. Time to end the show. Yeah, Trevon won't be back, so we thank him for his service.
I always do.
And we can't wait for Ditch to start a new takeover. So thank you guys, and until next time, go Patriots. Joel agrees.